Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of the Pylon Show. It's the year 2019 in this Lord Savior's planet, and we're still doing the show. So, thank you all for tuning in. I am one of the hosts in control. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Artosis, who is currently avoiding a bunch of plagues swirling around his house. Dan, how you holding out?
So far I'm really good, but when I leave the house, I bring a little bag with me just in case, because my whole family at this point has gotten a stomach bug that lasts for like one day, where they just keep puking. And I haven't gotten it yet, but literally all three kids and my wife have had it. So I don't know if I'm invulnerable or I'm about to get it.
Well, we'll take Artosis while we can. This week we're joined by not one. Okay, now listen, this show's at a terrible time for Europeans, and it's so hard to find a European that's willing to stay up past their bedtime and to talk StarCraft. But usually when there's that kind of passion on the line, you're thinking maybe it's Rotterdam. No, not the case. We've got not one, but two Europeans on the show today, coming out of the Queen's country, the Empire itself. It's Mr. Wardi. Wardi, thank you for joining us.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
No, I'm good. You know, I don't know if it's really passion more so than just I'm a bit of a degenerate staying up late, but I'll take this.
It means the same thing. Yeah, we call it passion.
We call it passion. It's great, isn't it? The whole community believes in it as well. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Wardi recently turned 25, by the way, guys. So if you haven't already, make sure and check out his stuff. Sub to him. Follow him on Twitter. He has little balloons for everything, so just get him. He'll fill up the little balloon for you if you do it. Wardi, happy birthday. It's going to be good to have you on here. But like I said, not just one European, but when you bring on a British person, historically speaking, you have to bring the counterpoint to the Brits. It's my favorite Frenchman, ToD. Also saying I'm coming on.
Wait. You like ToD more than Funka? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, ToD's a caster, Funka's an observer. Like, you have to act. It's a cast system thing. You can't.
That's true.
Good one, then. Good one. Yeah, what's up? Happy to be there. My first time, actually, on the Pylon Show.
Yeah. Wardi, too, actually. That was last year, I was just kind of like, shit, because we definitely... I mean, the thing is, I almost feel we have to call it something. It's like the Pylon Show guilt or something like that. Every time I message a European, I feel like I'm putting them in a bad spot where I'm like, we'd love to have you on. And they're like, what time does it start? I'm like, it's about 3 a.m. And they're like, Jesus Christ.
Well, to be fair, like, a lot of us stay up late, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you ask me, it's not like I was like, oh, like, I'm always sleeping at this time. It's like, no, actually, that's like my afternoon, technically, so it's not so bad.
He's been poker grinding. But we have a good show for you guys ahead. I guess with it being the first episode, I will give a little bit of a kind of update and headliner on our stuff. We're always and still will continue to do This Week in StarCraft because there's been a lot of great feedback about people saying that's one of the best ways to keep up with everything StarCraft related, and Dan knocks it out of the park. We are still on Patreon. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. I'm going to be playing a sad song, On the Wings of an Angel, and we're going to zoom in on a black and white shot of Wardi because, understandably, a lot of people took off the Patreon because we were not making content for 4 weeks. We need you guys to come back. We're gonna ask that you guys give us back your money. So we'll get to that in a second. And then we have a partnership with a company that I was going to be able to announce today, but we are going to delay that because we want to get all the information together. But that's something we're excited about doing. And then the only other changes to the show, it's still going to be a StarCraft talk show, but this is going to be funny. The question section at the end got a little bit bloated. It was kind of like This Week in StarCraft, where it ended up being like an hour-long segment. And that's awesome. There's so many of you guys that are so wonderful about wanting to ask questions. That's really great. But it's especially painful for our guests from Europe in particular, where it's like really tired and late, and then half the questions are like, where does the pee-pee go? And if you were a grapefruit juice salad, who would you like to sit with in the refrigerator? And we're like, that's funny, but there was like a lot of those kind of questions. So eventually we have to get to a point where we can no longer guarantee that your question will get asked. I think this is nice, though. This is going to be a two-part improvement to the show in that, unfortunately, it means you're going to have to ask really good questions because those will be the ones that get answered. But also, it's going to speed up the end of the show, which is nicer for our guests, and I think it cleans up the whole thing in general. So that's one of the changes. If you're really upset I want you to message on Twitter, Rotterdam08. He's in charge of the production for all WCS broadcasts, but also he is in charge of the human resources program that we have here at the Pylon Show. And any kind of complaints you have, just hit him up right through Twitter. Let him know how upset you are. And that's where I want you to direct pretty much all of your anger. But that's it. So let's just jump right into it. We'll talk about the topics here in a second, but let's actually there's the topics on the screen, so I'll just go real quick. This week in StarCraft, this week in Brood War, and then the discussion topics. We got IEM Katowice coming up. WCS Winter announcements has happened. StarCraft Remastered 2019 priorities. I assume that's where Dan talks about StarCraft Remastered. That'd be great. Heroes of the Storm, and kind of that whole debacle that happened. It's a couple weeks old at this point in time, but I think it's important for us to talk about it, especially in how it relates to StarCraft. And then another topic is Twitch and pre-roll ads from other streamers. Just kind of the streaming. Maybe not everyone's super familiar with what happened, but basically Ninja was doing a New Year's celebration thing, and that advertisement got ran on everyone's channel. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then Blizzard testing new Twitch chat moderation, which I don't know a whole lot about. Hopefully somebody here does. And then we'll wrap up the show, the last couple league things. Dan, this week in StarCraft.
Yo. Okay, let's do it. Speed mode. The OSC Battle of the Americas, NA versus LA champions. Obviously, this had a bunch of the famous players from the region, but a couple Europeans won it, Neve and Special. Neve won it over Special in the finals.
Europeans?
Are they not from Europe?
What? Are you joking?
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I'm setting up. This is
right.
long.
It's layers deep, Geoff.
Sorry. All right.
So ahead of
You young kids and your lingo. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
All right.
Dan is just so bad at sarcasm.
Or so good, and you guys need a kappa. You need me to say kappa out loud because you've never talked with humans in real life. Okay, so the OSC Battle of the Americas, it is done. Neve won over Special. Congratulations. We have the OSC Championship 6 finals. There's a lot of seeding going on, so it's kind of funny to see where everyone lines up in there. For instance, Gumio had to start at the bottom, but we have some players waiting up higher that probably get through. Anyways, you can check this out. It takes place from January 3rd to 13th, so it's almost done, and there's $4,000 in prizes with quite a few good players from all around the world. So check that out. The ANZ Pro League Season 3 has concluded while we were on our hiatus. And Sif Gaming defeated the OSC Elite 3-0 in the grand finals. And of course, that was casted by our wonderful Australian casters, Zeph Maynard and Death. You can go watch those VODs. The Banshee tournament, a couple more did occur while we were off. And to probably no one's surprise, Tilia ended up winning both of them without dropping any maps. So a couple more wins there. If you want to follow the Banshee tournament, support Zombie Grub over on her channel, and you can donate for the prize pool and stuff like that. She's putting that on quite regularly, as we've had 11 already. All right, the Base Trade TV Ting Open Season 5 is going on. January 6th was our first group with Kieran Kelliger coming out. The 13th, 14th, and 15th will be the next 3 groups with NA, EU, and KR. And yeah, you can check that out on Base Trade TV, of course. The Ladder Heroes continues onward. Of course, this is Fear Dragon's special thing he has. You can check out at ladderhero.es. As you can see, Cham right now, #1 ranked in NA. #2 is the Caster.
The Caster!
Jim Rising.
Where did that guy go?
Jim Rising is ranked #2. So really, he's putting it out there, man.
Where does he find the time to that busy casting schedule of his? That's insane. It's just...
It's wild.
That guy's so
Todd,
talented, man.
it must lighten your heart, Todd, to see a caster do so well in the Ladder Heroes.
Yeah, I'm just eager for Roddy to 3-0 him, and then you guys are going to be able to shut up forever.
Well, Roddy should start playing Ladder Heroes. I don't see him on the EU
Yeah,
list,
where's
but,
Roddy in there? He's,
he's too busy producing the Pylon Show.
That's it.
To be fair, Jim Rising has cast WCS for a long time in Spanish, so we make jokes and all, but he's cast in Spanish.
Anyways, moving onwards. Masters Coliseum #4. Wardi, you've been streaming this. You want to tell us about it a little bit?
Yeah, one day I woke up and it didn't have an English stream, so I tagged in. and I got to cast some pretty sick games. Honestly, the groups are kind of terrible. I kind of find this a lot in the Korean server, like online stuff. Like everyone just seems to cheese, and like the games are terrible. But then the
You're really talking this up right now, Wardi. I'm so excited.
I really want to tune in.
Was incredible. It was incredible. Mario TY is like an absolute must-watch series, and I think the rest of it plays out in like 10 hours or something, or somewhere like that. So yeah,
I'm pumped after that advertisement. I'm sick pumped for this.
Oh, I just want people to know to tune into the best StarCraft. There's just so much going on. I'm trying to give you guys the rundown.
That's legit. I appreciate that you say when games are bad, because that's something that you need to do. You can't sell every game as being a good game. We definitely have games in GSL where I'm like, oh, you don't need to watch that one, guys. That was
fun fact. If you combine
dumpster fire.
SOS and Sue, there's 3 S's and 3 O's between their 2 names.
Oh my god!
I just crunched those numbers.
So. Damn.
Not weird.
That's crazy.
That's
and
next
look,
level
all
shit.
the S's are lowercase. What does it mean?
Good God. This is my first and last Pylon show.
Yeah.
We're gonna entangle and make him.
Poor
stay
Todd
right
has
there.
no idea this is a 5-hour episode too.
Oh my god! All right, the StarCraft 2 BJ Destruction Team League Season 2. Our goal is 2nd place. Won the whole tournament. So it seems.
Did they win
like
then?
Really, you have to be pretty bad to not be able to reach your goal if it was to just not win the finals. So I don't know how the hell that happened, but Team Our Goal is 2nd place, which consisted of Sue, TY, MC, and Deer. Ended up winning the whole thing over the Jin Air team. So I guess I don't know who I'm supposed to say congratulations to, though, because they failed in something so simple as not winning some games. I do that every day. They could have recruited me. I would have helped them get that 2nd place.
Yeah.
All right. The Psy X Alpha Pro Show Match Series has been going on for quite some time. We're going up all the way to match 49. This is done with Alpha X Esports, Africa TV, and Matcherino. So it's streamed on Africa, and you can go and support if you like on their Matcherino page. It looks like the last one was Antis versus the Zerg Lord. But we've had some very well-known players like a Laser and Special a couple weeks back. Parting has played recently, Creator and Solar. A lot of good players playing there. So check that out at Psy Aftermath on Africa. The NA Apprentice Tournament. It's an online tournament for NA residents who have never been in the round of 32 in any 2018 WCS event. So still very many good players playing in this one. As you can see, like Future, for instance, is playing. He won his group. Of course, the Pizza Killer, Star Killer himself will be playing later today, I guess, or maybe tomorrow. I don't know what time it is in America. All right.
Tomorrow.
The GPL 2018 finals. For those of you that don't know GPL, this is the big tournament series that is in China. They have actually a good amount of professional tournaments over there. So they had, by rankings, they got the 4 best ranked players from the year, which were Time, Tudming, Cyan, and Shy. And they went through a group stage where Time and Tudming came out on the top, and they will be playing in the finals. So definitely 2 very, very big names, and that should be held tomorrow and the next day. So I'm not sure exactly where you need to go to check that out.
Just know that it's happening.
It's on Panda TV, I believe. So if you go to the show notes that I'm talking about right now and click, the wonderful Alisaunder has actually put a link down, so you can check that out. It's even got the time in there. Wow. Very well done. Another Chinese tournament that went on was the NESO, the National Electronic Sports Open. This is something that they've been doing every year for quite a few years now. All the top players go and play. Looks like Ayasano ended up winning with Shigua in 2nd place, and Max Said, the very old Warcraft 3 guy, getting 3rd place. And you can check out those VODs somewhere. Again, these are on Chinese streaming platforms, so it can be a little bit hard, but Liquipedia oftentimes has it. If you can't find Liquipedia, guess what? Go through the show notes. All right. The Sea Duckling Open number 50 is back. It's hosted by the Cranky Ducklings, and on Friday, January 11th at 7 p.m. KST, that is 11 a.m. CET or 2 a.m. PST, Wardi and Todd, if you guys want to play in that.
I see Melty in there, our very own Melty, a Patreon supporter.
Yeah, there you go. A lot of players playing in it. And yeah, they're just got some prizes and stuff. Check it out. It's on the Team Liquid as well. Now for the very important pizza watch.
Thank God. It's been too long.
The Pizza Pie Weekly. All right. There a few of them happened while we were gone. Star Killer, 20 pizzas right now. As you can see, second place, only 5 pizzas apiece. Yeah. Future and Raze.
Not even close.
You know, if you add them together, they have half as many pizzas as Star Killer. And then if you also add to that the 4th and 5th place, Panda Bear Me and Riser with 3 pizzas each.
Yeah.
How much do you get, Geoff?
Less
16. Not enough.
Not enough to cover 20. This is one of the reasons we have Todd here. I want to kind of ask the expert. Now, Todd, a well-known kind of advocate for esports earnings, that just counts money. And as I understand, it doesn't keep track of pizzas, Todd, but with 20 pizzas under his name for Star Killer, how do you equate that? How do you equate that?
I think we need a subsection, or maybe even another website called pizzaearnings.com.
Pizzaearnings.com.
Yeah. Like everything.
I'm down with that, because really when you look at this, okay, now let's just look at the Pizza Pie Weekly for one moment, right? He's actually having a Cyril-like performance there.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to add up, think about Cyril WCS points, okay? Compared to everyone else, where he was like over 10K and then Special was second place, right? With like 2K. Yeah. Look at this. You have to add up numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to get as many pizzas as him.
Incredible. Absolutely.
We need to get some sort of finals going at BlizzCon next year or something. Like, and then it was like a giant pizza or something. You know, like then it can really equate to Cyril winning the global finals. Then.
Well, I think the only fear is that it would take away from the championship of BlizzCon. If they saw the pizza competition, they'd be like, "Why are we even here?" It's like $250,000 or a pizza. I don't know. It's like, how do you? It's apples and oranges, right?
Well, Cyril would you know, after he beat Stats, if they were suddenly like, "Hold on, the 240K, we're gonna spend it all on pizzas," and then Star Killer comes down on a rope onto the stage. And Sarah's like, "Oh shit!" And he just runs out of there.
Somebody order a pizza. It's like, that was so sick. It's good stuff.
Anyways, number 54, or no, rather 53 is coming up this Sunday. So check that out. The Pizza Pie bi-weekly or weekly, whatever. I guess they're changing it. It's the very next thing.
It could be bi-weekly or weekly.
Bi-weekly in 2019. It's going to bi-weekly with a $10 prize in addition to the pizza for the winner and pizza points for participation finishes.
Pizza points?
A player may now opt to give his pizza to someone else who participated in the tournament if they are unable to claim it. Star Killer's getting sick of pizza, man.
He's like, I just got back from the doctor. I have diabetes, so I have to actually... Someone else.
You know, this is what you do, actually. If you want like a really affordable pizza, you wait, and then you just call Star Killer towards the end of the tournament, and you're like, "Okay, look, I'm going to PayPal you $5, and I want that into my house."
That's a sick call.
The pizza now includes one topping as well.
It's one of the best finals you could actually split, right? Like people always talk about splitting earnings, stuff like that. You can actually cut a pizza right in half. You can do that pretty easily.
That's true.
They do it all the time.
You cut it into 8 pieces. That's what I do with my pizza.
Yeah.
But do we know like it's a pizza from what place, by the way? Because like some pizza places are like stupidly expensive.
They have a whole system. I can't begin to explain it. We like asked that question in episode 1.
Well, I mean, this is what this show is for. I want to know.
Todd,
do the research.
There's somebody, Todd. When I say it, you're going to get hit up on Skype. You just wait. Like, Todd wants to know the algorithm for the pizzas, you guys. So someone tweet at Todd, because they have a system. You're going down a rabbit hole you didn't know existed, my man. It's so deep.
It's important, though, for pizzaearnings.com.
Yeah. We have to have all the rules there. All right, so the Pizza Pie Bi-Weekly. They are changing it up a bit, but we will continue our pressing coverage on the issue.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
Some more things going on. Games Invitational number 12 from Laughing Games. It's going to be MC versus Zanster, best of 7 on this Sunday, January 13th, on his Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Laughing Games.
I'm so glad they're using that picture. It's like anything MC. Can you please use that picture forever? It's
He looks so young there. But yeah, that's it'll be cool to see what type of shape he's in that tournament. playing wise, guys. Anyways, you can support it on Matcherino. Use his code GAMES12. All right, there's an interview with Future by Aoret. Aoret, we've covered a lot of his stuff that he makes in the past. You can check him out on youtube.com/AoretSC2. Of course, Future just won the Cheese Adelphia Land. Definitely one of the big up-and-coming American players. So
yeah,
something you want to check out. Katz's show is on season 2, episode number 2, The Breakdown. He's going to be talking with Future. Of course, you can check out his YouTube, youtube.com/wearecats with a Z. It's kind of a funny one. Yeah, check that out. It's a very good show where he brings on pros and really goes in depth over replays that they have played. I can't get that type of topic too many places. All right, Minute Micro, episode 30, Disruptor Splits by Print F. He's been putting out a lot of these, as you can see, already up to number 30. Difficult rating, he puts 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Check out his YouTube channel. Just go to the show notes. All right. Region Lock. This is something I think we'll talk about in a future episode in depth, but just mentioning, Katz wrote up some stuff. Of course, there was this some drama going on with Solar tweeting on kind of on behalf of a lot of Korean pro gamers and things. So it's an interesting topic, and I definitely want to dedicate some showtime to that once everything actually gets announced for the year.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that topic. I think we were even talking about it for this episode, but I like what Dan said. It's once we hear.
Well, we don't have anything announced yet, right?
Yeah,
there's
once
like
we hear the
only WCS Winter and Katowice are the only things announced. So
agreed.
Probably wait until everything's out, and then we can really dive into that. Anyways, the ProBots 2019 Season 1, New Blood Code. Another AI.
Did that get you, Dan? That got you at that one?
Yeah, that's good. I like
that robot joke.
Yeah. There's something different when you like read that not out loud versus out loud, because you got to give yourself a pause and go, because like you read that in your head and you know what it's going for, but when you try to say it, it doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have bots fighting each other. Check it out. You can go and it's on ES Champs Twitch channel, and you can add money to the tournament with the promo code and all that, as per the usual. Okay, the Clash Caster Invitational. Todd, you set up this wonderful tournament. Can you tell us about it?
Beautiful art.
Well, first of all, I'm pretty disappointed you didn't play then.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to call you out on air. So
I'm pretty disappointed, Todd, that you only told me a month before it started, and I've been playing too much.
Only a month. Yeah. In esports, a month is like 10 years.
That's true.
In esports time.
In getting the rust off of yourself in StarCraft, a month is like a day.
Well, here, Todd, this is next level. So take a page out of Dennis. What you do now is you put down the spot and say, all right, listen, for the next caster tournament, how much time do you need to be ready to go?
It's okay. It's okay, Dan.
Oh, maybe we don't
I
want
understand. No, I understand with his kids and everything. I was just playing. Yeah, no, it's like after we had the first one, a lot of people were asking when the next one was gonna be. So eventually, we got there, and we got 16 beautiful people to play in it. And Group A through D have already completed, and now we played the quarterfinals as well, and we know who's gonna face who in the semifinals, which is gonna be played on the 26th of January offline over in Italy at the Clash House, starting 6 p.m. Central European time. So for the semifinals, spoiler alerts, I'm guessing like you're showing it on the stream. It's going to be Roti against Jim Rising and Alex against Indy in the other one. And we're going to have a third place match matchup, which like doesn't happen very often in tournaments, but I feel like, you know, we're traveling and we're going to have all games on one day, so we might as well have that take place there as well.
Is that updated, Todd? The price was at 5,200, or did it go up from there?
The price pool is still going up on the Matcherino page, on which you guys can get some portraits, some in-game portraits as well. Let me check. Right now it's at, if it opens, 5,800.
Very cool.
And yeah, basically there's portraits that you guys can get. Hopefully Matt can show it as well on the stream. And yeah, like some of the money, like when you guys buy a portrait, goes towards the casters. as well. Some of it goes towards the prize pool. And I'm very impressed with the art, actually, from Nicolas Chossoa, the guy that does the WCS, all the WCS art almost. Like, he really outdid himself once more, and he did like kind of like a Expendables style of like guerrilla mercenaries.
Yeah.
Fear Dragon's completely out of control on his.
That was the standout.
Cool.
Like Wardi's like the guy in the truck thinking out the plan, or he's like hacking the elevator. Rotterdam's like this like impossibly European good boy who's like, you know, we need someone to scale the building, and Rotterdam's like, oh, I can do it. They're like, no, you can't. It's like, yeah, I've got 10 years of mountain climbing. Like, of course you do. And then there's Ravi, and this is like, I don't want to say it's a little of, you know, you got all these people, and then Ravi's the guy that I imagine holding dual Gatling guns, hosing down like 400 people. Like,
yeah,
I like it. Nate's like on the bow of a ship. He's like the admiral of like a very small fleet, but nonetheless still a fleet. And then
for me, I look at the Roddy picture here, and that's like a robot that is very close to being alive, but like he's not, and he wants to be alive, but he's just a robot.
That's a good one.
And the Funko one looks like a photograph.
It's that
it does.
good.
It is really good.
The Funko one looks like a photograph of him.
Emil looks like that's the face he made when he was asked to be in the tournament. They were like, "Emil, you want to be in the tournament?" He was like, but everyone always talks about this too, and I agree. Zombie Grubs is just fucking gorgeous. That's just an epic as crap right there. Really good.
Pretty sick. But anyway, like you guys can still get portraits. There's also T-shirts up until the offline finals take place, which is January 26th. So if you haven't yet, make sure to check that out. Matcherino.com/clash. We also got a coupon. So if you fools haven't done it yet, you can go on the website, and on the right side there is coupon code written. And even if you're not actually buying something or donating towards the prize pool, you can still use the coupon code, which is CLASH, QLASH.
There you go, guys. Everyone, right, 800 people in the chat. Please do that. It's free. Like, for people that don't understand Matcherino, you don't actually spend any money when you do that, yet it contributes to the prize pool. So we're literally Bitcoining you sons of bitches right now towards a good cause. Now listen, I know what you're thinking. With Rotterdam in there, there's a quarter of a chance that some of that money goes to prostitution and gambling. And I know that probably goes against what a lot of you are, for. But I want to remind you, he's going up against the caster Jim Rising. So the chances of him winning are actually 0. So it'll be going to Mexico, which hopefully, supports something good there. Todd, I want to ask you some questions about this tournament, though. This has been great. People really like it. I guess I want to ask, like, behind the scenes, this is way, I would say, even bigger and more organized than your first one, right? You've got sponsors, you're working closely with Clash. This is you've got an offline final, for Pete's sakes. That's a lot of you've handled this so calmly. It's been really nice, at least outwardly. Has it been good for you? Are you excited about it? Have you enjoyed it? Is there the idea of doing more, or is this kind of like no, that was a lot of work, I'm going to do this one time?
Yeah, it was a lot of work for sure. Like, it takes so many hours to like put something like this together. You have to coordinate with everybody, so it's definitely been like more than I anticipated, but it's been fun at the same time, like very rewarding when it like all comes together. Yeah. And we had some pretty high peak numbers as well on the stream. And like Blizzard helped out with some stuff. I think we got front page as well. I think we peaked at like maybe 8K or something one of the day. We got like some big hosts and stuff. So it's been nice for sure. And by the way, massive shout out to Rotti. It was his idea at the offline finals.
Oh,
I was planning on playing everything online, and he was like, well, we might lag, blah, blah, blah. Like you might as well try to do something offline maybe for the finals. So get in touch with Clash. I was like, I had never spoke with them before. Got in touch with them. They were interested. And here we are. Now we're all going to go to Italy, the top 4, myself and Harstem. So,
damn. And
a few actually, like we haven't announced it yet. We should be announcing it soon. A few precisions about it. It's gonna be actually best of 7 semifinals and 3rd place match, best of 9 grand finals, and in between we're gonna have I think an Archon show match where like the 2 finalists will play together against Harstem. in a show match, so that
Oh.
people have time to get ready before their next match and stuff.
Very cool. So I guess that's Jim Rising and Alex, right?
I think Indy might be favored against Alex, actually.
I hope
He's
so.
one of the higher MMR guys.
Because that would mean that I lost to the two guys that went to the finals, and that'd make me so happy. Just a little touch of excellence. Of
Well, not your fault.
Last time you already lost to one of the guys that made it to the finals and that then won it. And then you lost to Kokas, so I don't know about that one.
That one hurt my feelings a lot.
you know, Kokas told me that when he beat you, he was like so hyped and so proud.
Yeah.
He went like to his parents, and he was like telling his parents about how he beat like in control and stuff.
And that's cool. And it was actually a good series too. And that's actually no, honestly, it's fun. There was a time where it really upset me, but now it's like I know I make someone's day when they beat me because they usually tell me about it. They come into the chat and they're like, "Hey, man, that's the best game I ever played." I'm like, "I'm so glad for you, man." No, but this has been really, really cool. I want to give some shout outs too because I think one of the fun experiences of this is that it's hard to compete, but it's exciting. So thank you, ToD, in particular, for putting this on. But like I saw Maynard tweeting about this, Fear Dragon. I know that Wardi, like it's you put a little bit of your soul out there when you compete, but it takes gusto to do that, and that's really cool. So shout out to you guys for doing that as well, because this tournament doesn't happen if everyone who's like embarrassed about their play is just like, nah, I don't want to play. And I do want to also say shout out to a lot of the community because they've been very understanding and nice. That doesn't mean that Geoff's not going to take a second to talk about like the 17 assholes. And I got to tell you, when you look at a caster tournament, you're like, I'm going to hop in there and I really want to criticize some gameplay. I think that's what I'm going to talk about, some suboptimal choices and execution mistakes that I think were being had. It's like you're a heckler at the like fucking pro-am golf tournament where there's literally like amateur golfers and retired people, and you're like, nice putt, jackass! And they're like, who the fuck? And they look over, and it's the internet guy. It's the guy that he shouldn't be outside, but he went out there anyway. He's like, am I right, dude? We're Kappa! And then you know what happens? We set you on fire. We just fucking set you on fire and walk away. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. So
that seemed very heartfelt.
I've been holding on to it for a while. This episode's been coming for about 4 weeks. No, but it's been awesome, and I'm excited for the finals. Kevin is in the chat. He says he's going to beat Jim Rising. But in order to do that, Kevin's got to snap his 16-game loss. I was watching him on his stream today, so that'll be kind of interesting. Kevin's not here to laugh,
he was at like an all-time high MMR though.
He was, but now he's 400 points lower than that. So Jim Rising, on the other hand, is literally grinding games right now in between his busy casting schedule, which is just so passion-filled and amazing that he's...
It's dedication, Geoff. That's what it is.
And I have no idea. Alex is playing random, which is pretty cool, and then Indy's just a very solid Protoss player and a good guy. So and Alex he's just going to be random, right? In these semifinals, he's just going to ride it through. That's amazing.
He's been very impressive actually, because not only does he play random, but most people that play random they cheese. Not Alex. He just kind of sit back and macros, and he understands the game really well across all matchups. So
Roddy says he was playing Terran. Is that right, or is he talking about something else?
No, Alex was randoming so far.
Well, it'd be weird if Kevin disagreed with Todd. That's never happened before. So January 26th, the whole thing gets played out in one day, right? There's nothing. That's it. Now you're looking at
yeah, everything's played in one day. We start at 6 p.m. Central European time, and then it's just the 2 semifinals, the show match, third place match, and the grand finals.
Very cool. All right, guys. Well, make sure and tune into that. Is it on the Clash channel?
Yeah, they actually just changed the channel. I think it's Clash_StarCraft, but like we're gonna be advertising it on Twitter and like a whole bunch, and it's gonna be on the page as well on the Maturino. So just keep an eye out for it. It's gonna be listed on Team Liquid as well when we're live. So I need to clarify it with them, and yeah.
Very cool. All right, well, I'll check that out. Thank you so much, Todd. I think that wasn't even a topic, right?
Very
That's just
cool.
under this other thing, or
Yeah, I was just this week. We're almost through.
It is a
Just a
topic.
couple more things from general transmissions. There is an article up from the Times called "Inside DeepMind Demis Hassabis."
well done, Dan. I think that's exactly
And that
what it
is,
says.
oh, that's a hard name to pronounce. Anyways, that is, I think, the guy that made DeepMind. And
No.
as we saw at BlizzCon, they've been working on stuff.
That is DeepMind.
So
They just gave him a body.
yeah, that's him right there.
Yep.
But yeah, you can check that out at the Times. This week in Brood War, the BSL Season 5 has finished up while we were gone. And Eon Zerg, the best foreign Zerg considered by most, did end up defeating Bonneth, the very strong Polish Protoss, in the finals 4-2. And we had Trutax getting third place with Koget in fourth. And just right away, the BSL Season 6 has already started up, and everyone is already laddering really heavily. You have until the 27th if you want to join that. It's a really fun time because there's a ton of Europeans and North Americans playing on their BSL tags. So it's pretty easy for non-Koreans to get some good ladder matches during that time with good ping. So definitely check out the bombasticstarleague.com. Have At You number 26 occurred. Of course, as has been happening for a bit, we had two Koreans in the finals. Soma took out Zealot. So a couple amateur/pro Koreans end up winning it. Looks like Trutax did take a single map off Zealot, so I guess that's pretty good. And of course, the rest of the bracket filled out by the normal non-Korean players. You can check out Shamtu's Twitch and Discord for that. This week in Awesome, this is kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but someone on Twitter, Mina Ozgen, tweeted this at me. It was an interactive StarCraft 2 player network, and it's this thing you click on. It's got all these little facts and tidbits about the StarCraft scenes, and then it's got these clouds with dots. And if you, because I was like screwing around with it, I don't fully understand what this is, but when you click on dots and stuff, it'll actually show like each of those dots is a player that has a certain amount of ladder games played.
Oh, this is a
Right?
Patriot Act, Dan. I think this is actually.
What?
This is a Patriot Act, man. Yeah, this is like this is Big Brother here.
Oh, is
that's
that what
Florida?
it is? Well, it says the data was sourced from Aligulac, but anyways, I mean, people should go and kind of check it out. It's kind of cool because I was like, what is this? I just started clicking on things and names that I know started popping up. I'm like, oh, wait, that's a European pro gamer. Like, whoa. So yeah, okay.
What the fuck is this, Dan?
Dude, I just told you I don't know what it is.
Why is this on our show? What is this?
It's something.
It's
Something, Geoff.
It's a map of just players existing.
It
I don't
crosses
know.
over the regions. So like Special is from like the America region, and he's sort of in Korea too. So he like, because of his games in Aligulac, he plays a lot of Korean games and American games. So he sort of goes down into that region. So it shows the crossover of regions.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the one joke we can salvage out of this to get some value. Where's Australia and why is it completely over America? Let's find that.
That's
there it
pretty
is.
funny,
It's
actually.
green. It is,
They
yeah.
probably involved it in America.
It's green. It's the green. Asia Pacific. It's over fucking America. I'm not even kidding you. Blizzard! Someone made a graphic for why it's wrong to think the way you think. It's like Pangea, but like in a different world. It just like folded over America. Like fuck. Well,
Calm down there, Nathanius. So this is
dude. 1 in 5 of my ladder games, the guy starts with, instead of GLHF, they start with sorry. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, you're in Australia now. And I'm like,
oh man.
okay.
All right. You can check that out in the show notes. You can look that over. Okay, we're done this week in StarCraft.
Thank you very much, Dan. You did a great job. Guys, we also have a Matcherino, so this is your chance. I want you to 2 birds, 1 stone this. Okay, you go to the Matcherino for the Clash Caster Tournament. You put in Clash. Then you pen over to the Matcherino for the Pylon Show, and you write in, is it National Lead Day, Dan? Or Matt? Is that why we have that? Or what is
What
this?
is it?
Lead Day? L-E-A-D.
Okay, why is it Lead Day?
Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Thank you so much.
I'll let that one go, okay? You want to appreciate things like teachers and police officers? Okay, that's cool. Hot Dog Day? Get the fuck out of here. Okay?
So it's Law Enforcement Appreciation. It's LEAD, so please put that in there. Again, it's nothing on you except for a few clicks. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, I'm not going to do it. Someone else will. Well, if you have that attitude, the show's going to die. Do you want to kill the Pylon Show? Ask yourself that.
I know Is It Though line of merch is out as well.
Oh, the merch is out? We're out of merch? That's it. You guys bought all the merch. Thank you very much. Dan and I
I'm saying the no Is It Though line is out.
Oh, the Is It Though line is out. Okay.
Yeah, we have hoodies and shirts. More than just a couple.
Damn.
That's crazy. There's hoodies,
You
shirts.
can just be decked out in Is It Though. You can keep that sticker on your Is It Though hat. That'd be so cool. I love people who do that. So if it rains, it just gets soggy and looks like shit. Yeah.
I have not heard this to not be true, but if you wear that clothing, there's a good chance you'll attract the person of your dreams, is what I'm told. So now if you're in a committed relationship, probably don't wear that clothes. That can get weird. Let's get into these topics so that we can tuck these European boys in bed at not too ungodly of an hour. Guys, IEM Katowice. That is not how you spell that. Who did this?
It's a little off.
Who did that?
Katowice.
Katowice. I imagine.
One letter off.
I don't think it was Matt. It might have been Alisaunder, but in my head,
Here, watch this. Done.
It's Alisaunder, and she's like, it's a Polish word. I think this is what it is. Katowice. Anyways, this tournament's coming up, and of course, this doesn't need too much of an introduction for a lot of you guys. I would say it's like just behind BlizzCon in terms of the highlight of the year, which is almost too bad because it happens early on in the year. But they do such a great job. Apollo is the producer, I believe, and just what they've been doing over there with this has been just amazing. So that is coming up. I believe the qualifiers are going on right now, right? We already have some players that qualify.
Yes, yes, in fact, we did. And this is what I was talking about before with the Europeans. So we had the NA qualifier. And of course, a ton of you can play in any qualifier you want. It's a server, right? It's like, okay, we had a server qualifier on NA. So we had 3 Korean players get through with that. That was Patience, Innovation, and Maru, if I am correct on. Yeah, that's right. And then the European server qualifier, Special Neeb and Euthermal. Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but didn't Euthermal move to Mexico? Am I wrong about this?
No, he didn't. Did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Remember, we had him on the Pylon show. And I'm like, why are you in Mexico? And he's like, oh, I moved here. I'm pretty sure, unless he was trolling me.
What?
I'm not going
to move there.
His girlfriend lives in Mexico, so he goes to Mexico quite a lot.
Yeah.
So,
but like, did he move there, or was he trolling?
I think he was thinking about it for a while. So.
You know what? Kevin knows every Dutch person. We'll wait for Kevin to answer in the chat. He knows what every Dutch person lives, but he also knows where their girlfriends are at all times, I believe. So if we can.
Okay, someone's saying he went back to you after leaving. Whatever. A European squeezed in under the wire. But yes, the European server, Special and Neeb getting through. Special played from Korea, by the way. So that's some nasty thing. So I want to throw this out here. Okay, first off, the Korean server, we better have a bunch of Europeans winning that because there's been a lot of trash talk about Europeans stronger than NA.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk like that. And I'm watching right here, Special and Neeb come out on top on that. So I'm just saying.
And Cyril's already qualified, I thought, right?
Yeah, he's auto-seeded in.
Auto-seeded in, so it's just shaping up to be sick.
Mm.
But you can see on this, well, actually, we had this screen up a second ago, but the qualifiers are wrapping up. Let's see, there was one 7th and 8th, and then 9th and 14th coming up. So
there was one today for stage 1, and the next continuation of that is on Monday. But it's all Koreans, believe it or not, on the Korean server.
And then another Korean qualifier, number 2?
Yeah, because Korea.
Geez, that's not fair. But what about all these poor European and North American pro gamers that are just fighting for opportunities to compete? God,
this shall be a topic in an upcoming show for sure.
It's totally fine.
It's going to be a fun episode.
Give them more spots. Oh my God. That's awesome. This is going to be a great tournament. Just to announce or reiterate, I guess, just for the people that don't know, when is the actual date of Katowice? That's like
end of February.
Yeah, late February is like the kind of like the opening week, so to speak. I think
25th and 26th is open bracket, and then it's
Yeah.
28th of February is the first day of the group stages.
Yeah, and then early March is when
Yeah,
Okay.
28th first, second, third.
concludes.
Damn, gonna be sick. Very cool. Not a whole lot to add to this, I guess, at this point in time. Obviously, we're a weekly show, so we'll have more to talk about. But that's the qualifiers. Those are the players that qualified. It is the best of the best. It's going to be really cool. I think one of the fun things for me about this is that we will have WCS Winter before that. We'll talk about that in a second, of course. But I feel like Katowice is always like the meta setter, right? For the most part. Like, this is the best players. What are they doing these days? I'm hearing a lot about battle cruisers and TVZ. It's particularly fun for me because I do watch pro gamer streams, but it's mostly Protosses, so I don't really see crazy stuff. So these tournaments are kind of like the unveiling of what they've been working on, what's changed and what's new. Kind of excited about that. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, Katowice, it's like, BlizzCon, I guess, is really the world championship, but this is like a bigger pool. It'll basically have everyone that's going to be at BlizzCon for the most part, and then like a lot of other players. And I mean, every single time at Katowice, we have like really awesome storylines that get made. Like even some of the runs where people don't make it into the main part, like in the qualifiers, like Soul's run, I believe that was last year. You know, we've had like a lot of really good stories throughout. I think it's one of the absolute best tournaments. The way that we always have all the additional PCs and showing people as many games. It's like
the coverage there is great for sure. Like with the way we do it, the laptops, and also there's really not any restrictions. Like this is like where you made the PUBG caster joke with Kailash. I thought that was so funny. So I really like that. Like we're so relaxed there and always like have a great time, I think.
And I've got my updated passport this time, so I will be.
That's right. That was so sad. Like you got to the airport and couldn't go last year. That sucked.
Yes, because it expired in a month and a half, and they were like, "Well, what if you want to become a Polish person?" And I was like, "Then I would be bringing more than my backpack." But anyways, so that's Katowice.
You forgot a subject, by the way.
What?
We didn't talk about Soldier 76.
Oh yeah, we could talk about that too.
About
we got you didn't even hear that. Well, we could talk about it, sure, at the end. We'll see. We're going to fly through a couple of these subjects because right now we're just kind of like, yep, this is happening. Next one is WCS Winter is announced. And this is, I will just come out and say it. This is interesting because they the whole WCS non/announcement of this year has been a little bit awkward. It has been obviously announced only within the last couple of weeks, I believe, that there is a WCS Winter. It's not going to be an offline one like we did have last year, which I want to put out there and say I think is fine. Last year, I think everyone kind of forgot about WCS Winter. It happened in January, I want to say, and it was just too fast, too early.
Leipzig was really bad because I think they announced it at like the end of December, and the qualifiers were like 5 days later, and Challenger was like 5 days after the qualifiers because they had to do it all in January. So it kind of sucked. I think this is a way better alternative.
Yeah, I like that aspect a lot as well because, like you guys said, it kind of gets forgotten about. The last three stops are kind of really hype. I feel like each year like every year for WCS, last two, maybe even the one before, I like don't ever think about it, and I can't really remember it well. But like I like the idea of having more content that's regular during this period as we kind of gear up into the main part of the year. So yeah, I kind of like it.
Yep, I'm definitely open-minded about it. And I would say a little bit excited. I know that a lot of people, again, anytime there's like a pseudo downgrade in something, they kind of assume the worst. But I think this is a better handling. Without knowing numbers, just giving my own perspective, I would tell you that these WCS stops are not cheap. By the way, they're expensive events. So just doing one that then doesn't yield a whole lot of return in the sense of like excitement, it feels rushed. It feels like you did it because you had to do it. That does not make business sense at all. And in a game where, in a world, let's just be honest, where if you have that kind of stuff, adding costs and going over the line, that's where you get closer to the axeman's axe, where they kind of are like, hey, we're spending a lot of money on this shit. We gotta start looking at stuff. So this is a really healthy alternative. And I will say, people were really happy with it, and I think for a good cause, The studio broadcasts out of Burbank last year, or that area for Challenger, were really good. It's not a full broadcast of awesome StarCraft people, which is too bad, but it's still pretty good, and it is going to be a nice coverage of this event, so I think that's still pretty nice. And then for the pro gamers, it's great, because the other alternatives are like, nope, there's only 3 WCS stops, which means like 3 opportunities for guys to qualify for the year-defining event for them. So it's good. So here are the dates. They're on screen. Obviously, our pro gamers should be informed on this. I say obviously, but honestly, I probably shouldn't say that. It's like
no, you definitely should not.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Someone will get tickets, and then someone will accuse someone that's an amateur of stealing a spot from Stefano or some shit. It'll be really stupid.
You're exactly right, unfortunately. But this is coming up. I've seen a little bit behind the curtain. I can't share anything, obviously, about the broadcast style and that kind of stuff, but I will tell you that it goes along with what these guys are saying, which is nice. It's a lot of content kind of spread out over some time, so it's going to be fun to I think, be able to follow this a little bit better with that different style, as opposed to just a 2 or 3 broadcast day event.
They just announced the dates for the broadcasts, so it's 3 weeks straight of like 4 days a week. So it's pretty sick, I think.
Okay, cool.
Like
that's awesome.
A lot of stuff.
Because I really loved Challenger last year, like you mentioned, Geoff. It was like such a good show, and especially for me, because I do like GSL, I don't get regular stuff. I'll just get like a weekend I can watch a lot of or something. But I just really like that, just like steady content where it's like, for at least a few weeks, I have more StarCraft than I can watch. And so I'm actually quite looking forward to WCS Winter this year. Whereas like Leipzig each year and stuff, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to try to tune into that and watch some VODs. And, within a week, you've watched everything you're going to. Agreed.
So, well, obviously, like I said, we'll be doing coverage of this as it develops. But this is more of a just like, hey, this is how it is. This is how it's going. We're excited about it. Hopefully you guys are as well. Next topic, and this is a big one. It's a huge doozy for us here at the Pylon Show. It's going to be StarCraft 2019 priorities for Remastered, which I believe is a tweet from Grant Davies made into a topic. Dan, why don't you take us down through this? This is
okay. So basically, they have
Todd. Sharpen up, please. Listen. This one's you. Okay, I want to hear a lot back from you on this one.
All right. So yeah, they're basically they're announcing their priorities for the upcoming year. It's StarCraft 1. Maybe it doesn't have as much stuff going on as StarCraft 2, but they're still looking into certain things to make it better. So the top list priorities, I'm not going to go over absolutely every priority here, but the top stuff that they're really looking at is upgrading it from 32 to 64-bit. That's like something people shouldn't really care about that much. Further league divisions, I think that they're thinking of making it kind of like a blend between what StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 are right now, where it's like, there's like Master 1, 2, 3, Diamond 1, 2, 3, that type of thing. I think they're thinking about doing like A+, A minus, B+, B, B minus, that type of thing, which I guess can give people a better idea of where they're at rather than these kind of broad letters. The team matchmaking, of course, something that everyone's been looking for a very long time. The replay autosave naming, just being able to not just have a string of numbers on your replay file, instead like have names or matchups or something. An investigation into race picking. There are some race pickers. There are some cowards in StarCraft 1 that it'll be like a Terran player and he's like, I don't want to play TVT. That's too hard. I'm going to play the easy matchup PVT. So they're going to look into that for those people. Disconnections from servers. I mean, still that stuff happens. They want to make matchmaker algorithm improvements. You definitely get a wide range of who you hit MMR-wise, like plus or minus quite a few MMR from time to time there if you're on at a weird time. Relaxed input, I don't know what that is. But
okay.
There you go.
Todd, your thoughts?
Nothing.
No?
Nothing about Keeper of the Grove in here. Oh, no, that's priority 4. Look into Keeper of the Grove balance.
If only.
I love our inside jokes. Okay, so yeah, they're working on improving it. It's great. I make all my jokes, but like I kind of always reiterate, I do it out of love. I love StarCraft Remastered. I just wish they wanted to make more content outside of Korea. But they are making a lot of Korean content. A lot of you are really happy with that, so it's great.
Yeah.
Now, the next topic, and this is one that's a little bit interesting. It's an opinion piece, I would say. It's more of a discussion between personalities on something. Heroes of the Storm received news just before Christmas that was... you guys can disagree with me, but I'll just give my opinion on it. I think it was horrifically handled, and I love Blizzard with all my heart, and I don't blame this on any one person, but the way it was announced and the way it was put out there was terrible. It was absolutely horrifying, and it was... we know a lot of people in Heroes of the Storm, and we did a BlizzCon with them, and I'm sure these guys have so much stories, but like I worked out with Caldor and asked them, like, you know, what's your plans next year, that kind of stuff, and a lot of them were just like, I don't know, I'm living here, it's the same kind of thing. I assume we're doing the league next year. I don't know, they haven't told us. And then a couple weeks later, canceled everything across the board. And that is brutal. It's absolutely savage. Like, people relocated there, Gilly, Caldor, a lot of these guys, and this was their main source of income. This is what they went all in on. It would be the equivalent of telling the StarCraft scene there's no more WCS and we're not sponsoring or partnering with any other event. Good luck. Which could happen someday, and if it did happen, the hope would be is the way it's handled is that you're given time and told, and there's a there's a period of time where like you're told to expect something like that, as opposed to the opposite, which was a big problem. Is a lot of people had private conversations with people in the know, and they were like, no, it should be fine. So that's what happened. And since this was a few weeks ago, so obviously this is an interesting topic because it's kind of post that. But I guess I could just go around the horn and hear your guys' thoughts on what happened there or whatever, and how it reflects to StarCraft as well.
Yeah. Well, let me start out by saying I think that the combination of this getting announced and all the StarCraft esports announcements being the latest that they've ever been, is not a good combination, if I could say so, right? Because it kind of puts people on edge, like, oh, could this happen here? We've always had things announced by now. It's January 10th and nothing's announced except for Katowice and Winter. At least we do have those two things announced, right? So it definitely reassures in that regard. But I feel like that was definitely a botching.
And it adds enough question, though, right? Like we even on the season-ending Pylon show, we talked a little bit about this kind of thing where we were like, you know, people are kind of like quoting Maynard and Roddy. They're back and forth where they're like, no, it's gonna be fine. There's gonna be something. We all believe that, I think, but because it is, as you said, like the way this was handled, and then how long it's been right now without much of a solid answer, it begins to feel like, well, anything's possible, right? Like, maybe shit does go ass up. It could be really bad.
ToD Wardi, do you want? I mean, I can talk forever, but
no, I mean, I think the biggest thing is like, obviously, it got the way it got cancelled. Like, it came out of absolutely nowhere. Everyone just sort of assumed it was going to be happening this year. Like, it's kind of scary, right? Like, especially because Heroes isn't really supported by like a lot of other tournament organizers. Like, at least in like StarCraft, we have like IEM, for example, run tournaments, right? It's not all just like WCS, even though IEM is incorporated into WCS. Heroes was like HGC and HGC alone. And I mean, if you cancel HGC, then there's like literally nothing.
Yeah.
So it's real brutal. And I think the worst thing is like some teams had already played like matches to qualify into the new season of HGC. I mean, Scythe Esports were going to be playing in HGC, who had Zest, but they had to release Zest and the other players because HGC didn't come through. So their sponsors were like, well, this isn't what we signed up for. So they had to release their players because obviously like their Heroes team was like one of the big things for their sponsors because it was at the top.
Yep.
So that sucks as well. Kind of does have repercussions in StarCraft too.
And it's I think it's a little bit of a reality check as well. I cannot give names and I cannot talk specifics, but I will share even something that's probably well, I mean, I'll just say it as an opinion basically, but I can tell you that this is not something I'm making up. This is a bit of a shock to people even inside of Blizzard. A lot of it did not come from like, this was not known for months, and there was like a Google meeting on a calendar that was like, okay, announced that we're canceling all of HGC esports for Heroes. This was a little bit of it was a reality check, like I said, where the announcement kind of came from the top down from not many, and it just shatters, and it's tough because it kind of puts into perspective things like when someone far up enough in a big company like that says, no, this is what it is. And they're like, but we told them the opposite. They're like, I don't care. Make it work. We're not paying for that anymore. Then that is actually how it goes. So you want to believe that some of this stuff is so entrenched and no one would possibly do that. But when a company gets to a certain point where they are publicly traded, massive, and gigantic, and ultimately it is the dollar sign, it can actually go that way. So again, I'm not saying this to fear monger on behalf of StarCraft. I honestly think we're going to be fine this year and stuff like that. But I do want people to understand that in gaming, we call it the Wild West. In private, we call it kind of fucked up because axes like this will just absolutely fall and carpets will get pulled out from beneath your feet, and that can just happen. It doesn't mean how do you live your life? You live your life anyways. We're all here because we love it so much, not because it's where we're going to make our millions or whatever. But you got to do what you got to do, but be ready. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, I guess what I'm saying, which was so scary because some of these commentators kind of did, right? Like they had to pivot on the fly. They had relocated. They were only doing that game. They were streaming that game, and it's just monstrous what happened. So
yeah, it's scary because you're kind of on the whim of a company, and if they don't tell you, that can be a very scary thing. And all of us have gone through ups and downs related to that type of thing. Like, can you imagine for a moment if just suddenly, if I thought StarCraft was coming back for everything and then it all got canceled?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I have a visa and an apartment and 3 children and a wife in South Korea. That would be a difficult thing to swallow for sure.
Yep.
So definitely it's very scary in that regard. I think that and obviously it seems like people really weren't given enough notice, weren't really notified. It was not announced well, like you said. I think that Heroes was kind of not doing well.
No, it wasn't. Yeah,
a lot of metrics, and like it was kind of going down for a while. Like me and Todd both used to cast Heroes. I don't know exactly why you stopped casting, Todd, but like for me personally, it was a combination. I wanted to just focus on StarCraft, just solely StarCraft, and also like we went from 1 year because I was casting for OGN, and the teams would come in a couple days a week and we'd do these awesome matches with the crowd there and the teams there, and it was really legit and cool. And it was going to go from that to everything online, despite the fact that all the teams can go and want to go. But it was kind of like, no, we're going to make all the regions the same, and we're just going to make it all online so that there's not like a vast disparity or something like that. That's what I heard. The combination of wanting to just focus on StarCraft plus watching that happen, and that was a year or two ago, I was like, that's so I guess that there were kind of signs that was probably like, it obviously costs a lot more to produce something where you bring the teams in and all that and keeping a big studio open rather than just an internet studio. Yeah.
Hey, definitely, I think like AGC didn't seem super sustainable because he didn't have like super high numbers or something. Yeah. So esports is not always about direct revenue and like viewership, but like having been part of like AGC sometime and having seen like those events, I was like, they're spending a lot of money on this. Like every team has like, they've got each player have their own room, and then they have an extra room that they have 5 computers in. That's so that they can practice at any time. Like this is actually insane. Like how much money this costs in comparison with a game like StarCraft, which is solo. Like you put them all like in one room or whatever. Like it doesn't really matter. Like it's so much cheaper in comparison to do StarCraft related stuff. So
yeah,
it didn't seem sustainable in the long run. But then at the end of the day, it's all about how much does Blizzard want to support the esports scene of this. I'm surprised that they completely shut everything down. I really feel like they could have scaled it down or something, but like you said, maybe it's some call from somebody up high above that was just looking at the numbers and it was like, all right, like this is, we gotta pull the plug on this one.
I guess the fact that like Heroes has to fight against like League and Dota. So if you scale it down, all of a sudden it's like, does it even compare to League and Dota? I mean, Dota's run the international every year and like all of these majors. League has LCS, and that's just franchised out into LEC and everything. I think like at some point it just doesn't make sense because
I fully agree with you, Wardi, and I think that is actually, it's a really good perspective. I think the problem I have, and again, I'm not saying this from a point of, this is just like my experience and my perspective, But I think what's kind of scary is I want to say Blizzard of old would have scaled down and taken a loss because they want to support their players and their people, and they want to spend to them the value of the message being, hey, it's not as big and as great as we would have liked, but we want you guys to have this opportunity, and then and spend that time being like, start thinking about other things. It's a great event, but there's fewer of them or whatever. Like that's the kind of message. And what we learned is that that's not where we're at, right? Instead, it was like, because I agree with you, they overinvested. It was too much. They obviously spent a lot of money to try and inject life into a game that just wasn't ever going to get that big, for all the reasons you stated. And then instead of making the like compassionate and loving kind of slow release, they were just like, fuck it, and they ripped the red cord. And it massacred and destroyed some people. Like they're not on the streets like snorting cocaine or whatever, but like they definitely, I can't imagine. Like Dan said, in his scenario, it'd be really scary. But that happened to people. They were in a place, that was their job, and they found out they don't have a job anymore, and everything they invested into a game is now, hard to justify. Where's the money going to come from? If you're a professional commentator for a league that has you relocate, what do you do? Well, Gilly went to Nevada for a completely different game with a completely different company, or Vegas or something like that. She's doing Rocket League. Caldor is doing Warcraft 3, and I believe he's moving back. I think he said Spain is where he's going to go. With a bald head like that, good luck. But he's going to do what it takes. It's tough. So when I look at this situation, for me, it is a little bit of a reality check. I'm not going to do anything different. Like StarCraft's still my main squeeze. Obviously, I don't begin to be like, well, I'm going to look at CNC Remastered. That's where I'm going with my life. Like, no. But for people that are just StarCraft, start making content elsewhere. Start kind of dipping your toes and moving around and making sure that you are anchored. Because I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we now have learned, and I hope nobody can disagree with me on this, we've learned it's a possibility. Whereas in the past, we would have said it was never a possibility because that's what I believed.
I think that's an interesting point, right? That because we've never seen anything quite like this happen. Games have lost support in the past, but this was actually a real esports scene. So now, like, the dead game memes are going to be gone from StarCraft because we actually know what dead game looks like now.
Yeah.
The company announces it, that the game is dead, and everything stops, and that's it. And it's
But here's the thing, though. People always say, like, the dead game thing and stuff, and like, some people might say that about, like, say, for example, like Warcraft 3, but here's the thing. There is still quite a few tournaments, whether it's like weekly, there's big tournaments in China with big money, and now with Reforged, I guess it's going to be more. But even before that, they still had tournaments for thousands. Brood War, I'm sure, had the same for years. They still had tournaments here and there, even though, it might not be on the grandest of scales compared to a top esports. So that term dead game, I guess, like, they should like rename it to, like, game that's not a top esports or something, but dead game really like is like a overused term. Like a lot of these games that are called dead games are not actually dead. And I feel like for Heroes, it's going to be a true test to the people's passion on that game, right? If they want to keep on doing it, they still can, even without HCC. If people want to stream it, they can. If they want to put up their own tournaments, they can do it. And I feel like for StarCraft, like, even besides the WCS circuit, we have so many tournaments that even if, like, let's say support was like lowered or completely cut out, which I doubt is going to happen, the scene would still continue on its own, right? It's like its own ecosystem.
Yeah, well, for me personally, I'm going to continue to just be all in on StarCraft because, like, I can't see it occurring, right? StarCraft 1 is huge here in Korea. StarCraft 2 is really, really big around the world. We have so many great tournaments, like Todd just said. It's not only these other ones. The scene for StarCraft is so dedicated. We have so many people running things. And look, if Blizzard were to just stop all funding of StarCraft 2, then we just, Rifkin and Wardi become our overlords, and that's it.
ThePylonShow is what. Here's the thing, Dan, and I don't disagree with you. Like I said, I'm going to stream StarCraft. We got ThePylonShow. I'm going to go to all the events I'm invited to. Like, I'm a StarCraft guy, but the thing that I have to take into account with what happened is that the reason you would keep funding Heroes, or you would go the route that kind of my not quite counterpoint, but what I said to Wardi, which is like I would slow off, I would take the loss for a year or two in the name of image. StarCraft does not earn Blizzard money the way it used to, right? When they come out with characters and stuff like that, yes, it does sell. Yes, they're not like losing money per se, but in the grand scheme of things for a company of their size, when they make this much and then another game makes this much, they look at this little and they go, that's fucking terrible. That's a loss. That's hard for us to justify to trades. It's hard for us to do on the stock market. And that's been StarCraft. But, and I'm going to come out and say it, especially with like the love of the Morheims and some of the original core Blizzard people, it was good enough that that game was the pinnacle of competition, that it was like still creating these amazing moments, that it still showed that Blizzard has created one of the best RTS game of all time, or one of, if you're Warcraft. Anyways, so the point is they own RTS. They're the gods of RTS, and supporting that means something, right? Now, with what happened to HEC, I fully agree with you that it's inconceivable to me to see them pull the cord on StarCraft, and I really don't think it's possible. My only problem is we now have learned that the image and what's right and like the spirit of a game and what it can do for a company is not as sanctimonious as we thought it was. It's not as sanctimonious is the wrong word. Sacred is, I guess, is the word I want to use here. Where like it should have been untouchable. You should never do that to a community, but now we realize you can, and it's for money. So that's a harrowing topic, but that's why the next one is Wardi just had a birthday, so let's go ahead and no, I'm just kidding. That's not actually, it's not the next topic.
But he's not kidding. You did just have a birthday.
He did have a birthday though. Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
We're done being happy about that. Yeah,
happy birthday.
It happens every year. We shouldn't make too big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't tell my stream that though.
What is this tweet? Is this for this next topic or not? Well, anyways, I just want to end with this note of, or here it is. Oh, okay, that's the next topic. But before we get to the next topic, I just want to say, I know that that's, like I said, it's a bit of a downer topic, and I do apologize, but I think one of the worst things we could do as hosts and guests on the Pylon Show is like fart rainbows and tell you that everything's always wonderful. Things are still looking good for StarCraft, but it's important that we remember that the time we have with it is not infinite, probably. So enjoy it while you can, and love it and cherish it, because it's going to be some of the best damn days of your life. And for a lot of you guys, maybe some of the best days of StarCraft is already behind you, but for us, it's still today. So let's keep celebrating it. Next topic. This is a little bit of an interesting one. I don't see, especially with Todd playing poker tables right now, I don't see a whole lot of conversation here, but maybe Wardi will surprise me. So there was an interesting thing around New Year's. Twitch, Red Bull, and Ninja did a big celebration New Year's Eve. If you haven't seen it, one of the cringiest videos you can ever see, and I want to talk about that in a second too, because it's really funny. They told Ninja to get all of Times Square to do the floss dance, and it's like pouring rain and they're all in jackets, and I guess like 90% of people didn't even know who Ninja was or like why he was there. It's hard to watch. It's a tough, like, every dad joke that Dan has ever said, if you could like distill the awkward from it and put it into a syringe,
it was brutal.
And you stabbed me with that?
That sounds amazing.
About 3 people do it.
Yeah.
You saw the memes? The meme videos? I'm not seeing enough movement. It's pretty funny. But like, yeah.
It's so bad. Anyway, so this thing gets, it's a big deal. Red Bull spends, they don't say how much, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's millions of dollars paying Ninja and paying Twitch and advertising this. And what ends up happening is they ran a commercial advertisement that then played in all of Twitch's streams. So this is the other big streamers were having advertisements for Ninja's New Year's Bash. It's just kind of a funny situation. Did you? And then Kevin. Yeah, if you can show Kevin's tweet, this is pretty funny too. Kevin weighed in on this. I liked it. He says, "Hey guys, please have an intervention with me the day that I whine about having Ninja ads on my Twitch channel. Please save me for myself if I ever go there. Okay? Imagine being upset at the website that gave you everything just because they're advertising a New Year event. Lol."
So, other streamers were complaining that there was an ad on their stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's always ads on streams.
They were
an advertiser for
that
Ninja's
the ad was advertising Ninja's stream.
Yeah, another stream.
Another stream.
What is wrong with those people? Were they in character for this whining, or were they actually? Do they actually think that this affects them in some way?
Maybe
it does, though. To be honest, imagine if like you're a top Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
And Ninja is like one of the guys, is like the biggest one. You're trying to get ahead of him, right? You're trying to become the biggest streamer, so you're competing with him. And then when people tune into your stream, they see an ad to his stream. That's like, I can see how.
Buy ads and put them on his stream then.
Because not everybody's sponsored by Red Bull.
This is how advertising works, okay?
I know. Yeah.
Okay? Like if you're a soap company, right, and you're sitting there and you're watching TV and then a Dove commercial comes on, you can't be angry about that. Go buy your own fucking commercials. Like
that's why this topic's pretty funny. Yeah, it's capitalism, baby.
What are we even? Who was getting upset about this? Roddy's so right.
No,
like,
Todd nailed it. It's literally
all
other
of
top
these
streamers. Yeah, it's just the top streamers.
They were all angry that someone bought an ad.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want that commercial. It's a commercial. This is one of the ways Twitch makes money. This is one of the ways that you make money. Ninja's making you money right now. Watching this ad.
Or he's taking money away from them because he's taking their viewers.
Look at Todd playing devil's advocate. I like it.
No. That can't be an equal thing. Okay, that's not equal. He's not making more money than they are off playing the ad. Okay, because you're only hitting a certain percent. Otherwise,
no, but they're gonna watch his stream for the New Year's instead of their stream. They're gonna stream on the New Year's as well. It's a big day, Dan.
Then they need to buy ads. If
people are having dinner with their family, they hate it, so they go to their computer and then they watch the New Year's stream, and then they'll go to Ninjas instead of watching them dropping from a bus in the sky and shooting people.
I mean, how great you get to tune in a Ninja stream, watch two people dancing in the rain in New York. I'm sure.
It's so. Okay, so here's what I want to say about that, though. For the people that have seen that clip, I don't think we're going to play it. I don't know if Matt wants to, you can, but it is the most awkward thing in the whole world. But I want to, this is one of my, I love having a platform to talk about this because I know that every one of these fuckers here on the show is going to know what I'm about to talk about. There comes a moment when a producer, especially, and this is my favorite, it was a Red Bull producer, I guarantee you. They walked over to, they're either in Ninja's ear or they're right off screen. They're like, Ninja!
All right, it's real simple.
Well, here it is. I'm just going to go ahead and play it. No, play with sound. Can you guys hear that? He's got to unmute it. We're going to play this clip, and then I'm going to tell you what happened behind the scenes without me even being there. That's how powerful I am.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Hang on. Matt's figuring this out.
I'm waiting for the clip.
Just a second, guys. Producer magic here. Oh, Jesus Christ, Matt. Just play it once.
We're going to try to get 1 million people right now to dance in Times Square.
Yeah, I bet you there's some masters of flossing here. Are you guys ready?
There it is.
Are you guys ready to floss? Show us what you got. Okay.
Show us what you got.
Everyone watch
Get
this.
some floss.
All right, it's real simple.
What?
If you guys have all flossed before,
Real simple.
I mean, like
Is
with
that
your
not the
teeth
clip,
together,
man?
you're just going in, out, in,
Oh, it's the same
out,
one.
in.
Here we
I mean,
go.
it's just it. That's it. So we're going to try to get 1 million people right now to dance in Times Square.
Yeah,
Think
I
we
bet
can do
you there's
it?
some masters of flossing here. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to floss? Show us what you got. Okay.
Show us what you got.
Let's get some floss music on. We're getting ready.
It's so wet.
It's so wet. It's so awesome. Should we count down? Are we going to get some tunes on?
Absolutely.
Jesus
And
Christ.
3.
Matt, you cut it?
Wait, did it just turn off before they danced?
That was the best bit.
Matt is having a little bit of a tough time here. Okay, here it is. They captured the 3 people doing it. All right.
2, 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, wait, it's coming up.
You know what's funny? What the host next to him, before this happens, she says, I bet you there is some masters of flossing here. He should have just said how much. Nobody was doing it except like 3 people out of 1 million. Oh my
Show me
God.
some movement. That shot right there, dude. That shot.
Oh no!
All right, listen.
But do you have the sound then? Because like you know what he's saying? Like while he's doing this, he's saying, I need to see more movement. I'm not seeing enough movements while he's doing the thing.
It's amazing. Anyways, you guys can watch that clip.
Ooh.
So here's what happened, and I'm telling you, and this is amazing, and it's so important for the personalities out there. And I saw Kevin in the chat. I saw Maynard. There's some Fear Dragon. We got young Wardi here. He just turned 25 years young. And there's going to come a time. Listen, there's come a time in every esport career where a producer walks over and says, I want you to whip your dick out. I want you to do something super fucking weird. And you have to look at that producer and be like, no, I would not do that. Because to them, it's just an idea. To them, they're like, let's just do this goofy thing, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But to you, it's your image for the rest of your life. Like this, we laugh. Ninja's going to get linked that moment for the next 20 years of his career. He's going to be done with esports. He's going to be fucking rolling dough at Ninja's Bread House over off of Stewart, New York downtown. Someone's going to walk in and be like, you're that guy that couldn't get people to dance, aren't you? And he's going to be like, fuck off, man. That's the rest of his life. A producer from Red Bull said, Ninja, I need you to try to get the whole crowd to floss, dude. If we can get 1 million people doing this, we can set a world record. And Ninja, who got paid, I don't know, $1 million to do this probably, what is he going to say to Red Bull? No? So no, he doesn't. So what does he do? He does what he did in that clip, and he walked out on a balcony, looked at a crowd of New Yorkers, pissed off, locked in, by the way. When you walk into that area, they lock you in, and they don't let you leave until after. And it's raining on them, and it's cold, and he said, I want you guys to floss, which is something that below the age of 12, no adult human being can do unless they've tried to practice it, in which case, if you've tried to practice that, you're already fucked up. There's something weird going on there. I had this moment a couple of times, and actually I ended up being kind of nice friends with him. I'm gonna even name drop him. Brett, what's his last name? Breeling, the ESL guy. Remember him? He did Katowice like 4 years ago. He's a great guy. He's actually worked with Red Bull.
There's a lot of events.
Brett Breeling.
Beeling. Yeah.
I can't remember the situation, but we were on cast for something. And he said something like, say this, Geoff. And I was like, no. And then afterwards he was like, I'm your producer. You must say what I say. And I was like, that's not how this works. And he was really mad at me, but now we're friends, so it's fine. You have to say no sometimes. That's the whole point.
That's true. You do have to say no sometimes. Ooh, I feel for Ninja in that. Ooh, that was brutal.
Wow.
But
no, Cobra did great.
The ad thing.
Go ahead.
Bringing it back around.
I think you answered it.
That's stupid, and everyone that complained about that is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
if your stream was as big, if your stream was bigger, like if you were like one of the top 5 Twitch guys, you wouldn't say that, Dan. You'd be pretty pissed.
No,
you'd be like, what the fuck is Ninja? And why is he playing?
Am I going to be angry that they're playing this ad? Every fucking stream I tune into right now, I get this like Korean Archage ad. I'm like, but I'm playing StarCraft. Don't show the Archage ad.
Oh my God.
Watch me play StarCraft because they're going to go watch this game that you have an ad on for. No, because I'm not stupid.
Dan, of all the topics for you to be so serious about, I did not expect this.
People are so stupid. It hurts me.
Yeah.
It hurts me. They're mad that someone bought ad space.
Yeah. Not even someone. Red Bull bought it for him on his behalf.
What? They're mad that Red Bull bought ad space?
Yeah. I know.
I don't even... How else do I point out how stupid this is?
You have to understand, you're not at that level, Dan. When your channel grows bigger, maybe like if your channel is one of the top channels.
Are you telling me I'll be angry about this when I'm a millionaire, Todd?
Yeah, when an ad of my channel for my New Year's Eve stream will play, you're gonna be like, what is this?
Then I'll just get an ad from my channel's New Year's stream to play on your channel.
Well,
in fact, you know what it'll be? It'll be Artos is not even going to be here. He's going to be asleep because it's too late to be up that late. And that's going to be the ad.
That'll be your advertisement?
So stupid.
No, what I like about this, though, and what was funny about it was just bad in general because it's a Twitch advertisement for a Twitch stream. So the only people you're advertising to are people already watching Twitch. So the
marketing person who bought that ad space was brilliant then, is all I can say.
Yeah.
That was great. If you're mad about it, go get your own ad space on Ninja's stream.
And they wanted to get the stream really big or whatever, and that's what they kind of tried to accomplish. And it was just funny. They ended up pulling the ad, obviously, and they're probably never going to do anything like that ever again.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Wait, they pulled the ad?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone complained they pulled it. I mean, think about it this way. Like, obviously, Ninja's a gigantic... No, I'm not kidding at all. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're like...
why I can't do anything but talk about StarCraft, okay? Because if I own Twitch and they were complaining, I would look at it and I'd be like, wow, you guys are so stupid. And people come to me like, we need to pull that ad. They're getting angry. I'd be like, we sold that. You can get the fuck out of my office.
But they probably could get sued over that, no?
No, not sued.
It's an ad.
It's a streaming platform and it's an ad for another stream.
I think it's because it crosses a gray area, right? Oh,
yeah, of course.
Because like really they're advertising the event. It's just the event takes place on Ninja's stream. So at what point is it okay to advertise an event, but then not someone's stream? I don't know.
Well,
never, Wardi.
I'm excited for this.
Apparently.
Because you can, Wardi, if you have enough money, you can go get an ad on Ninja's stream for Wardi TV.
Great.
You could.
My Twitch chat's already.
By the way, I really don't give a shit about this. I just wanted Dan to get passionate, and it worked.
Well, Todd, unfortunately for you, you've locked yourself in as a lifetime member of the Pylon Show. Now you're gonna have a small window on every show where you just try to agitate Dan because it works. Yeah, so I was trying to wrap it up, but I forgot that this was going to really upset Dan. But yeah, they pulled the advertisement, and they will never do that ever again. I guarantee you. It upset all the top streamers. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm reading the chat right now, and people are saying this is like ABC running ads about their shows on NBC, and NBC having no say about it. Do you guys agree with that assessment?
The closest I come to agreeing with this being wrong is that it was specifically advertising a New Year's show on Ninja's channel, and a lot of other top streamers might be trying to do a New Year's show. So then it would be weird because this runs as pre-roll. So literally, like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check out Artosa's channel, and the pre-roll's like, fuck that guy, check out this other guy with Red Bull, and you'd be like, oh shit, I know what's going on, I'll go check it out. Does that probably happen? Probably not. But to your point, and Dan, I'm so proud of us being the capitalist pigs that we are. I don't disagree with you either. If you run an advertisement and that's enough to sway someone away from your channel, you should have channeled harder, motherfucker. Like, you should have been like, no, don't leave my channel. I'm going to be drinking 100 gallons of Coke, and we'll see if I can live. And you're like, you probably won't. Up your game.
Yeah, but I don't think this is like the NBC ABC thing. I don't know. I don't see that.
You're not buying it?
No, it's all on Twitch.tv, right? Twitch chooses what ads go on your channel.
Everything Todd says, I've known Todd long enough to see when he's smiling, even if his face is completely blank. He's smiling the whole time, Dan. When he's like, you don't buy it, Dan? And Dan's like, no, I don't buy it. Shit, I'm still mad.
No, to be honest, I can see both sides of the argument. Like, I understand how some people are like relaxed about it, and I can see how some streamers would be pissed that it's directly advertising somebody else's stream. Like, if you put yourself in their shoes, surely, like, you can also see that side a little bit, right? Like, I don't think I would be mad about somebody else's stream showing like an ad on mine, but
I do like.
Then again, if it was Grubby's, maybe, you know, like, this is maybe a little too much here, like.
I just enjoy the things that send waves through the top streamers, and then they take to Twitter and the way they answer, because it's pretty funny for me. Like, it is literally just the top streamers that have any complaint about this at all. And when we say top streamers, we mean guys that have, like, and gals, 10,000 subs or like 30,000 subs. So we're talking about people that are making millions of dollars a year, but like each month it's $100,000, and they're like, this really chaps my gears. This is so stupid, so dumb. And that's kind of what Kevin's tweet is getting at. Like, if you're literally doing that and your voice is bouncing off the walls of your 9-bedroom house that you moved your girlfriend into, and you have your Siberian Husky, and like you have 4 streaming rooms, and you're like, I hate that they're advertising somebody else. Fuck you, Twitch. It's kind of like, bro. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to do. That hasn't stopped people like, you know, Donald Trump or matriarchs and patriarchs of various oligarchies and stuff like that. They still find time to complain. But when you do it, just kind of know what you look like. Because it's like turkey grease on their face, and they've got like a chicken leg and a turkey leg. I can't believe the peasants are complaining. Jesus Christ. Jeffrey, get me more steak, please. And like, I have to tweet out more angry tweets about my millions of dollars. Like, it's tough. It's tough to do. It's tough to take serious.
No money, more problems, Jeff.
But the best part is when Ninja chimes in, because then it's a bunch of stupid people angry at each other, and they're both defending dumb things. So like Ninja made a tweet that he had to delete. he ended up saying, don't you get it? Like, the bigger my show is, the more people I'll bring to Twitch, which then will help your channel. Which is, he actually took literally voodoo economics or the trickle-down effect, which is supposed to be a meme for most generations, especially his. But he actually made it into an argument, which is just amazing. So for you, Todd, do you know what the trickle-down effect is?
I think so.
Well, let me explain it for the people in chat that don't know it. If you guys give me $100, okay, if every one of you gives me $100, there's a very good chance that I might end up in one of your parents' stores where I'll spend 15 of those dollars. Now, if you didn't give me $100, if every one of you did not give me $100, I don't go to your stores and spend that money. So you never see it, motherfucker. That money that you spend on me doesn't come back to you in smaller increments. And that's how trickle-down economics works. It's supposed to be laughable because there's no way to wrap your head around that without thinking, wait a second. Yet Ninja did it.
What happens if everybody gives that $100 to Roddy?
Well, you know what happens, Todd. But for let's just say Roddy's in the club, and so is a whole lot of other people, and they'll be in there for a while. Anyways, this is a way better topic than I thought. I'm so glad that we found that Dan gets really mad at some of these things. And Todd, thank you for.
I don't. You make money when an ad plays on your channel. I don't know if you guys knew that. I know you're all Twitch streamers.
But then the person leaves for Ninja's channel. Do you still make that money?
Well, maybe make better content, make them not want to leave.
I agree.
Maybe you should
can't see the
advertise
content before the ad goes on.
Maybe you should work with Monster Energy and get commercials all across Twitch, just like Red Bull did with Ninja.
I'm looking for a Monster bottle, but I threw them all away. All right. Thank you, guys. Now, we had a lot of laughs. You guys got really rambunctious in the chat, so I appreciate that. So, guys, take a minute. Take a deep breath. Calm down. And let Dan serenade your ears with a recap of the Brood War updates from the KSL Season 2 finals that took place.
Yes. Yes. So, KSL finished. We had Sulky beat Sharp in the finals 4-1. It was definitely a domination by Sulky, but the games were good still. Sharp put up good fights. There were some interesting builds and strategies and games in there. But that makes now we have two big-time StarCraft 2 champions that have won the biggest tournament in StarCraft 1, both Rain and Sulky, which is kind of cool because they were the big guys that came over from StarCraft 1 that everyone was talking about when they joined StarCraft 2. They both became legendary players, and now they're both legendary players once again in StarCraft 1, so that's really neat. And so congrats to Sulky. He's finally won his championship. And ASL, we had the qualifiers went on this past weekend. Unfortunately, Flash and Jadong are both not playing. Some health issues. Shuttle went to the military. But we did get a very good group of players in. Okay, we have some amateurs making it. A lot of the other top names are in. In fact, I think all the other top names made it. And the return of, we don't have Flash, but we have, I guess, probably the player that before Flash was always considered the greatest player of all time, Nada, has made it into ASL.
That's interesting. Mr. 500 APM himself.
Yeah, Nada, he's an actual, Flash considers him one of the only geniuses ever to play StarCraft.
Which is a low-key way of calling everyone stupid, but yeah.
Yeah, that's, well, you want to see more of that, check out twitch.tv/Artosis.
Dan, real quick, if the only genius to play the game picked Terran.
No, Flash, I was reading this thing that this guy on Team Liquid writes blogs, and Flash said that there are 3 people he considers geniuses.
Who are they?
In StarCraft. Nada was one.
Okay.
Choja was another.
Get the fuck out of here.
Life was the third.
I can't believe you just said that. You're banned.
Yeah. Anyways.
What about Savior? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He says Life is the fucking genius? Is that what he said?
Yeah, from this article.
Did he laugh afterwards?
Yeah.
Best player in the planet starts gambling and loses his entire career. He's a genius?
Before that, okay? His play was genius. Anyways.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
Yeah.
You know what they don't say? It's like Michael Jordan, best player. It's a shame that at the peak of his performance, what did he do? ski dude into a building, broke both his hands, out for life. That was so tough, but he's a genius. No! Didn't happen, Dan. You don't know much about Michael Jordan, I'm guessing, but it didn't.
All right. Well, no, I know. But yeah, I mean, that's awesome to have Nada back. We had some, you know, up and coming amateur players did qualify. We have Bill back for his second season. Zealot made it in for the first time.
I can't believe you're missing this. Group B. Tell me the name I'm looking at and I'm really excited about. Tell me.
You're looking at Tinkle.
I am looking at Tinkle.
I don't know why they use Tinkle. He's better known as E-Hazard. A much better name, clearly.
I'll tell you why they call him Tinkle. You want me to tell you?
Yeah, please.
I don't know. But I just love the scenario where like someone, because it's all very official and stupidly over the top. So he had to probably write it down on a piece of paper and hand it over and they'd be like, I'd like my name changed. Like, what do you want it to be? Tinkle. Like, so like, are you sure about that? And he's like, yes, I had to sign it 3 times. Please call me Tinkle from now on. All right. Is that Mr. Tinkle? No, it's just Tinkle. Just call me Tinkle. God. The world we live in, man.
Not the best name. Our friend Bjorn has had that happen to him a few times, hasn't he?
Someone said, remember eye water? That's yeah, it's like some of these names. Man.
So this is this is ASL Season 7. It starts on Sunday at 4 p.m. or 7 p.m. KST. So finally have some casting to do once again here.
Very good. So that's the Brood War stuff. Do we have another topic? Okay, no. We're going to fit one in. I like Todd's suggestion here, and I think it's interesting. I will remind people to be respectful, even if this is not something that you are necessarily whatever. Just be respectful. Be grown-ups about it. But very recently, and I think this is interesting for Overwatch, they announced that another character is gay. They said Soldier 76 is gay. I say another because, what's her name? Tracer? Right?
Yep.
Tracer was also of that preference. And then they've talked about... Have they actually announced... They didn't say that Symmetra is autistic, right? It's just like thought that she is.
What's the name of this character?
Soldier 76.
Okay.
So this obviously was a interesting announcement because it's a big deal, right? Like you don't actually have in gaming a lot of characters that are gay or of just, you know, different kinds of backgrounds like that. And that's been a big message from Overwatch from the very beginning, that they are all different races, different places, different backgrounds, body types, all that stuff. They want to represent absolutely everybody. So initially, I'll just come out and say it. For me, this is a little bit weird for Overwatch to be the vehicle in the sense that, because there is no story, so it's kind of weird to me. Well, before Matt rips my head off, there's no story in the game necessarily, but they do have content around it. So there's videos that come out, they have comics. The game does have certain kinds of little glimpse into narrative and story. So there is definitely a story, and it's coming out more and more. But for a game that's approaching, I think it's 2 years now, right? Or 3 or so? I think if I were to look somebody in the eye and be like, tell me the overall story of Overwatch, I don't feel like anyone could really give me a whole lot.
The world needs heroes, Geoff.
The world needs heroes.
Well, apparently,
testing on the moon.
Blizzard didn't he?
There's evil robots that are trying to get people.
Matt's telling me right now, Talon is an organization. He says he could write all. So Matt's a big fan. So he says there is some of a story. So I'm gonna try to be. Now he's growling at me. So there is somewhat of a story. I'll back it off to that line. For me, and I initially came at this from the angle of like, it's kind of weird, right? For someone to be like, it feels like the Dumbledore thing again, where or even more recently, the whole thing where I guess we were told that wizards shit themselves, or they shit and then they make it disappear. And I'm like, why do we?
What?
Yeah. The point is, weird or different kind of backstory to these characters is given, and it doesn't feel like it has as much of a place because they're not, for me as a casual fan or for other people, like a living, breathing character with backstory and stuff. So I came at it from that angle, but I guess I evolved kind of through the discussion I had on Twitter and with people that are close to this and stuff, and with some of my friends that are gay. That it's overall just very good that there's a company or at least characters that are willing to be like, no, that is a part of who they are, and that is it. Because for the longest time, nobody did that, right? Or very few, and it was really hard, especially not big companies. Like, it was super safe. Like, everyone is straight and narrow, very easy as a character. So Overwatch is kind of challenging that. And even if I don't like the execution so much, or I think it's a little bit awkward, I still land on, I think it's really good that people are doing that. That we still have those characters challenging those conventions and making us think and making us talk about it, right? Todd, you were wanting to talk a little bit about this too.
Actually, like, I brought this up as a joke initially, but
nice.
Sure, whatever. Like, yeah, honestly, I don't have much to say. Like, I'm not sure what place it has in a video game, but if it's there, like, I don't mind personally. Like, it's 2019, all right? Like, if you have a problem with somebody's sexuality, like, you're doing it wrong. So it's same as for everything. So sure, like, if they want to have a character in the game that's gay or two, then go ahead and Godspeed.
I kind of like it because it gives an opportunity to out the people that I shouldn't respect the hell out of, which hasn't happened a whole lot. It kind of happened the first wave. I agree with you 100%. It's like, if you are really upset by a character, I think one of my favorite responses from Ammunition, another streamer who was really upset about the Ninja advertisement. She was like, when Tracer was announced as being a lesbian, she was like, hey, if it really upsets you that a fictitious digital character prefers other fictitious digital women, you're having, you got some issues going on there. And that's a funny take on it, obviously, but I don't know. We're not going to get into a whole discussion on this, but I do like that in the gaming world, I guess. Well, we are getting a discussion on it, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is I like, if it does make you uncomfortable, that's okay. But I like that there's something out there that is making us think and challenging these things, right? Because again, for most of us, we are probably straight, cis individuals or whatever. But for other people, you're not. You have different preferences. You have your minority or whatever. And you're not getting represented as much. But now there's companies and games that are trying to do that. So I like that. I'd rather live in that world than every character is Chris Hemsworth. Well, actually, that's a pretty good world too. Either one. Let's go with either one. That's what I want.
Well, he brought out a lot of like ignorant people, right? Yeah. That said silly stuff about it. It was when was it? I think it was like maybe 2 years ago or something that gay marriage was legalized in the United States. I think I remember seeing a lot of posts about it on Twitter, and then a lot of people tweeting and saying stuff like, "If it's true, I'm moving to Canada," blah blah blah. So it kind of like brought out the ignorant / dumb people, and then you can kind of see who's who. And I feel like maybe like this does the same too a little bit.
Yep.
In its own way.
Oh, it's state to state in the United States. Actually, sadly enough, it's not even it's not a federal thing. It's state to state. I believe someone that knows better about that can correct me, but not in every state is it legal. You have to go only to certain states. So it's very much so a live topic in the United States. All done? You guys got nothing? Wardi?
Nah.
I mean, I think I pretty much agree with you, Geoff. I don't really think about the storylines within games, and I super duper don't care about them. Like, I still haven't. One day I'll be sick and finish the StarCraft single player, but I just
very soon with your family.
Yeah, I guess that's gonna be coming up. Dragging my computer.
This is the clippable moment. That was it, guys. That's the clip moment right there. Nice usernames waiting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really go to games for storyline or anything. I don't really care what Jim Raynor's up to, or it's cool that people like that, and sure.
Well, his love is so great that you could actually kill thousands, millions of people, really, and he would still want that ass, which isn't. I mean, at the end of the day, man, that's the kind of love I want. Listen, if I become I get a little unhinged with an alien occupation that takes over my abilities to remain human, and I end up killing entire swaths of people, I still want you to come after me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
who are you talking to, us or the ladies out there?
No, there's a lady out there listening. She knows. Out there, someone. That's it. Thank you guys so much. That is the main bulk of our show. We're gonna give some shout outs, and we're gonna do some questions, and we're gonna a shout out, questions, and then shout out, and we're gonna end this thing. We want to give some love. Matt's got this on screen, so we are still partnered with AFKT. Mr. Lycan has been an amazing supporter. He's doing a great job with his tea. Great StarCraft community guy. You can follow him on Twitter. I think he's Lycan GTV. I did that right off the top of my head. That might or might not be right. And we see a lot of people getting this stuff. This is the Diplomat, Mr. Diplomat Dota. I love this guy. He's a part of our community. Is it though mug? I should have had mine. Son of a bitch. I'm so bad at this. I got the Is it though mug, and he just bought some tea here. Dan, you still drinking that stuff?
Yes, loving it.
Would you say that's why you're not sick?
Pretty soon. I mean, I'm not a doctor, Geoff. If anything's possible, anything's possible.
You're not. You're also not a not doctor, right?
That's true. My initials are DR.
Well,
so
okay.
I'm kind of a doctor.
There you go.
If I forget the period in between them.
So give him some love, guys. If you're going to try out some tea, or if you have, if you are a tea drinker, please consider buying some from AFK Tea. Great guy, supports the community. It just is a nice thing. And if you do use that code, save yourself some money, but also let him know that through the Pylon Show, you have been seduced into checking that out. And this is an advertisement, by the way, guys. That's how Ninja works. Yeah. That's how the world works. So, okay, so now we're in the question section. So, like I said, I'm going to be reading these, and very likely the question section will turn into 4 or 5 or whatever, or however many good ones there are. Funny ones will still get asked if they're funny. And I do apologize because it used to be that it was guaranteed that no matter what you asked in here, we would answer it. If that whiplash catches you, just once again, I kind of want to remind you, we apologize, but please, 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 please hit up our human resources manager. That's Rotterdam08 on Twitter. Anything you want to shout at him. Just lay into that guy.
When the VOD is going to be up, you ask him.
Ask him next episode. Lighting, if at Katowice you see us and the lighting is a bit weird or the sound's off, message him. It's actually Roddy that's in charge of all of that. Not a lot of people know that. All right. The other thing I should say is that, and this is awesome, this shows some dedication, people were asking questions even when we were off air. If you're wondering, is Geoff going to ask a question from 4 weeks ago? The answer is no. So I'm going to just start today with questions, find the good ones and ask those. But in the future, if we miss an episode or two, or we're off for a couple weeks because it's 2020 coming up or something like that, you can ask questions. They just won't get answered. So, all right. Without further ado, let's get into it. You know what? Okay, this is okay. Our very own Ravi asks, with 2019 finally here, how many days was everyone's 2018? I'm going to It was. I'm going to re-edit this, though, into how was your 2018? I want to start with you, Wardi. Your channel grew. You become what many people call Rifkin Light. And
I'll have you know, I currently have more subs than Base Rate TV, so...
Really? Who wins at Marbles, though?
Cherry Rifkin taking over.
I think I'm the Marbles King as well, man.
I feel like with a birthday stream, those numbers are inflated. I think we have to take both of you.
They are definitely inflated.
Yeah.
I will take anyone I can get, though.
And be careful, it's not that hard to get on Rifkin's bad side, so don't brag.
Like Todd did just right now. That's amazing. No.
I didn't bring it up. Rifkin brought it up, so.
I know. You guys have
You keep making it worse, but it's okay, yeah.
Beautiful old. How was your 2018, though? Did you like it? What are you looking to improve this year?
My 2018 was pretty sick. The only thing I wanted, I did a lot of streaming, but I want to stream more this year because there's a couple of times when I went away for quite a while. I was away for 3 weeks because I did BTSL into vacation just went to WCS Austin. So I'm trying not to travel so much unless I'm working at events. But I kind of want to work a bunch of events too, but there's not that many events to work. So
yeah,
probably just going to try and stream as much as I can and keep the stream going strong.
Very cool. Todd, last year was a year of change for you in 2019. Are you looking to do some new stuff, old stuff? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, these days I'm just streaming Warcraft 3 pretty often. I got back, I quit PUBG finally, the game that Artozis calls Call of Duty, which I've never played. I quit that shithole game of a shooter. And instead I kind of picked up poker, so I've become a bit of a poker enthusiast these days, so I play quite a bit. And I started streaming as well, and I'm going to be playing live too, so...
Very cool.
Yeah, I would love to stream to cast more StarCraft, but there wasn't that many opportunity already last year compared to the year before. I did only 2 out of the 4 WCS Circuit events, so we'll see. Obviously, I've made that video, you guys have made fun of me for it, but whenever I'm asked to cast StarCraft, I always say yes. So if the opportunity presents itself, I'll always say yes. Otherwise, I'm definitely looking forward to organizing more stuff here and there. and so that I can put up some tournaments on my channel and all that.
What about Nation Wars, Todd? Anything from that you can spill?
Actually, I think there were. It was a work in progress. Then I haven't heard about it in a while. So hopefully it happens. But yeah, it's far from being a sure thing from what I can understand.
We'll see. Dan, 2018 to now.
It was great, 2018. I mean, I had a lot of fun. It seems to have gone by very, very quickly. Yeah, I just did a lot of StarCraft and a lot of family time. And that's basically what my life is. So,
very good.
Happy times. And I mean, this next year, I'm hoping is going to be even better. And I think it will be.
When you say family time, you mean your family or babysitting tasteless everywhere?
Yes.
All 4 of my kids. No, it's just, I spend a lot of time with the kids each day. And yeah, if I'm not doing StarCraft stuff, I'm basically spending time with them and playing with them and stuff, teaching them stuff. So it's a good life. I like it.
Not bad. I'm excited for 2019. I'm going to be doing a lot more work with Games Workshop and Warhammer content. And actually, a really cool thing is the guy that makes the show tick, Mr. Matt, is in California doing something else, but he'll be up in my neck of the woods soon to set up a new computer, a new router, green screen, all this stuff. And we're going to wire up a table to be Warhammer filmed as well. So a lot more content, better performance, and then a lot more stuff that we can do. So 2019 is going to be more production.
Where do you stand, actually?
To help me.
What's that,
where do you stand with the Warhammer stuff in terms of like this? Like, they got tournaments, they got a circuit. So like, do you prefer playing or casting? Because like you were casting some of them, and like, what's the status on that? Like, is it going to be streamed? Is it going to be on your channel? Can you give more details?
Yeah. It's funny because it's what happened to me at the beginning of StarCraft 2 as well, where I really want to play, but also I really enjoy commentating, so I kind of get tugged in both directions. The difference is, in StarCraft, if you don't play 10 hours a day or whatever, and you're not on top of the game, then being a pro gamer is kind of hard to justify because you're just going to lose, like I did. So in Warhammer, that's not the case. So I'm going to be commentating on behalf of GW the big tournaments like Las Vegas Open at Las Vegas coming up, Nova, Adepticon, and some others. But then I'm also on Team USA for the ETC, which is like the Olympic team. So I'm one of the best players in the country. I'm going to be going to Serbia, actually, later in the year. Yeah, to compete.
Damn.
And the cool thing is I'm going to be able to, I'll share pictures, I'll do videos. I'm going to be streaming practice games from my place. But I sold 2 shows to GW as well that we'll be doing on the Warhammer channel and with a lot of my friends and coworkers and stuff. So a lot more, but it'll be games, and then I'm also commentating, Todd. So it's everything. It's gonna be pretty cool. But good question, Fear Dragon, and great job, Geoff, making it into a good question. Thank you very much. So then there are some questions about berries. Someone asked Todd if they could visit you if they were Australian, if you wouldn't hate them. The answer
depends.
The answer is Todd would hate you.
Do you think that the ads belonged on other streamers' channels before New Year's Eve for Ninjas? That depends on your answer to that question.
I like that. Mort, I'm going to ask this question. Okay, actually, there's only a couple questions. That's good. So I'll ask these couple questions here, and then I think we'll end with that. This is a little bit of a long one. Recognizing that Blizz is a business and StarCraft 2 is a product that we love, do you guys have any out-of-the-box ideas of how Blizzard could increase their revenue from StarCraft 2? Buying co-op commanders and announcers is a good way for fans to support, but I wonder if there are any more creative ways to sustain or improve the business model. Example, the arcade was an interesting idea. Players sell games, Blizz gets a cut. But how about the Academy, an in-game resource that pairs players with learning resources that feeds more desire to constantly grow? It could pair players with coaches, and Blizz gets a cut. All right, Mort.
So I appreciate the idea, but the amount of work and effort that would go into that would far go beyond the type of money that would make. That probably wouldn't actually make a lot of money.
Yeah. See, that's what I was worried, is that Dan would look at this question and miss out on the opportunity because he says creative ways. So Dan, inside the box, thinking about it again, Geoff, shattering the box. I already have an idea. As you was asking this question, I know exactly what you do. So you do this. It's the premium Blizzard package, and it actually is inexpensive initially. The cost comes later. So you pay about $100. You give your address, your phone number, and just kind of like times of the day that you're home. And then what Blizzard does is they dispatch like a former military person. I'm thinking SWAT is also a possibility. Or just some fucking psychopath. They kick in your door and basically kind of take over your life. So paying bills? No, that money's going to Blizzard. You're going to buy groceries? I don't think so. You don't have money. It's going to Blizzard. You're going to buy a car? You don't have a car. It's at Blizzard right now. And they just kind of slowly kind of take everything from you out of your house with you being powerless to fight against them until they just basically... And if you think about it, like the gross net value of each person is somewhere in the ballpark of a couple $100,000. So you times that by a healthy 300,000 people or so. What did they say? How many people play StarCraft a month? It's like 250,000. Sick money. No, of course, the lifespan of this is pretty short, but what's that, Tom?
We gave some feedback, I think, at the summit about something like this, but without any money involved on like how to help people connect on BNets so that, you know, they can find coaching or like exchange regarding strategies a lot more easily and stuff.
Yep.
And I think that's something that like they seemed interested in. So maybe someday like something like that will be added. But as far as like increasing revenue, personally, I don't really have any ideas, like other than maybe doing a bit more of like what they're doing right now, you know, like some more announcer voice packs and all that. Then again, like I guess like that doesn't necessarily support the the game itself, right? Because like some of that, I don't even know like what it is because I don't have my voice pack. But like obviously some of that money will go towards the person that did a voice pack and all that. So yeah, just more like stuff like watches, skins, and all that. I think is like the way probably.
Okay.
I would like to see, because I don't think that this information actually exists publicly, but I would like to see which esport games out there are actually making money. Like, does League of Legends behind hero releases and sponsorship and skins, is this actually a plus? Are they actually making money? The League of Legends company, are they making money? That's and probably people would jump up and be like, yeah, they're making. And it's like, oh, I don't go that quickly. Like, you know, a lot of esports is speculation and interest in the future because of the numbers and how popular it is. But I actually don't know which esports are truly making a profit. And even if they are making a profit, like how big is that profit, right? For the amount of people working there and stuff. Like,
I know what you're saying.
It's just a really great thing because it's like, you know, the things that StarCraft 2 sells, yeah, it helps, but you know, how to make StarCraft 2 profitable? I'm like, well, can you tell me which games are profitable and maybe we can look at
Dota
that.
probably. I would say Dota with the Companion.
Fortnite, Epic. But
the
funny thing is like, this answer's you're not wrong, but it's always funny when someone's like, "Is there any way we can get more money out of StarCraft?" And someone and Dan's like, "How much money is everyone making? I mean, is anyone really making money?" They're like, "Yeah, they are." All right, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, no, the thing is, I don't know. I could like give ideas, but the thing is, a lot of people's ideas, it's like, yeah, the voice packs, does that really make Blizzard money? No. Like, you know, these little tiny drops in the bucket, it's like, that's not necessarily a long-term sustainable business model that makes sense. I don't know.
What
but
Dan's saying, like, you need to be creative and aggressive, which is what I fucking said. Deploy the VIP package now.
There you go.
It's a lot of money just sitting on those tables and in their garage and with their children, all that stuff. You can sell a lot of body parts on the black market as well. We can get really creative with this. That's it for the questions. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. And like I said, give us feedback on that. If it really upsets you that your question's not getting asked, communicate that in a calm and adult manner, please, and we'll take it under consideration. I kind of, like I said, my thinking is that the questions got bloated. There was some pretty silly and kind of bad ones, and that was kind of a lot of the feedback we were getting. And
that's it, by the way, like only like 4 questions.
There is another one, but Cobra's wrapping this up. He's got burritos to eat or something like that. All right, we'll do one more from our very own GG Emily. But just to finish my thought real quick, the wording on the Patreon will be reworked so that, you know, hopefully there's no one that's too upset. But if you are, joking aside, let us know because we it's just a change in policy. But anyways, shouldn't be a big deal. GGMany. The first non-region locked qualifiers in a while have been going on for IEM Katowice, which saw Koreans dominate the NA qualifier, especially with the official qualifier caster Wardi here. Do you guys prefer the global qualifiers to see Koreans versus foreigners, or rather the region locked ones?
Well, I mean,
just like watching StarCraft. I mean, like, I feel like we get a lot of region locked stuff already because of WCS. So I actually feel it's quite refreshing to watch the global qualifiers because we don't really see. I mean, it's never fun to watch like the Koreans play on Europe and like ping to come into stuff and so on. But I still think it makes it more interesting than watching like Neeb, Scarlet, and they have a couple of American players qualify from NA, and then you have like Cyril, Showtime, and like the other couple of EU players who are in their mood right now qualify from EU. I think it's really fun to watch this one, like these be a little bit different. So it just feels very different because I actually think like IEM Katowice is like the only global qualifiers that are open like all year. I can't think of another tournament, so I prefer it just because it's different.
I think people really like Koreans versus non-Koreans, don't they? I've always been under the belief that that's preferred, even, I would say. Yeah. I think what everyone's afraid of is, let's say there's 8 slots, 7 Koreans qualify, right? Like that would be...
Yeah.
I don't mind a higher percentage of Koreans getting the qualifier spots just because like it's in Europe, so a lot of Europeans will be there. And, with Koreans, there's, people who are sponsored are already players likely to qualify because they're the better players. So it's hard to get a lot of Koreans there compared to like Europeans, for instance. So I think it's fine the way it's done. It's like it kind of warns you ahead of time. This is the NA server qualifier. It's not a region lock. It's like you're going to be playing that ping. You know what your ping is like there. Okay, do you want to go ahead?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey guys, thank you for the questions. And like I said, let us know your thoughts on the question segment. It's always ever evolving, but I think that feels better for our guests and feels better for hopefully the quality of the questions. To conclude, I would like to draw our attention to a couple of things, and then we're going to give some shout outs and end it. One thing that we want to make a note on behalf of the Pylon Show as well is that the expectation for the VOD that will go live on our Tosis TV's YouTube is going to be a 24-hour cycle thing. Matt, our producer, works his butt off, and it's a lot of work to get a YouTube video up, especially after he's been producing a 3 to 4 hour show as well. And then getting that video up is really, it's been a tax on him. So the expectation is going to be changed to, it's 24 hours. So it still will absolutely be free to watch. You can catch it live, which is free, or you can wait and watch it on our Tosis TV and the MP3, the podcast as well. A 24-hour cycle, which is kind of funny that we're saying, hey, please give it a day, because that's absolutely fast and standard for almost anything else. But you guys were spoiled by Cobra's inhuman work ethic, but we're going to work towards a more normal one. If you can't wait, if you just absolutely can't wait, may I encourage you to do something. You take your Twitch Prime sub, or $5, and you subscribe to that In Control TV channel. And not only will you be supporting... Look at this. Look at that bulldog over there. Look at him with his tongue out, sleeping on the floor. But also this bulldog right here. Tongue in. Not sleeping on the floor, doing work for you guys. And then you can watch it whenever you want. But if you don't want to sub, you can watch it for free later. There's the Barrison cam. On the fly. Okay, so those are the options. It's better for Matt, and I'll tell you what, a happier Matt...
Purple? Yeah, that's purple.
Good Todd. Jumping in the stomach. Thank you, Todd. What makes Matt happier makes all of us happier.
Yeah, that's purple.
It'll be better. Okay, that's it for the show, guys. Last but not least, the other sellout moment here. There's our Patreon. Thank you guys so much who have been supporting it. We've had people that's been doing this. When will be a year? What's our first episode, actually? That's got to be kind of something we got to look up.
At least 33 weeks ago.
Oh my God, Dan. Anyways, we'll look up what a year is.
I like to be helpful.
The point I'm trying to make is that a lot of you have been supporting us the entire time. Here's a list of some of those people. Thank you so much. Emery Toss has been sitting at the $100 tier forever, but he's now joined by a few others, $50, $20. Like, these are big
Astro
contributors. Fan. Thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate it. The show is coming off a hiatus as we ended the season a week or two before Christmas December. So for those of you that are watching right now, if you're enjoying this content and you're not a Patreon supporter, please do consider it. It is one of the ways, it's the primary way that we basically pay ourselves for the show and continue to pay Matt, and are able to do things like pay our guests when we get to that $3,000 tier, but also help out Alisaunder with a few things, that kind of stuff. It gets spread out between all of us. I mean, I take 98% of it, and then I give them the last 2% is what I basically... No, I'm just kidding. It's pretty good stuff. Thank you for laughing. Todd, you're going to be on every episode. You laugh at all my jokes. It's so good. Because if you didn't laugh, did you see Wardi? Wardi's just staring. Dance quietly over there. God.
Dan's laughing inside.
Yeah, well, they laugh inside. Afterwards, like, you're so funny, Geoff. I'm like, well, great, laugh. Because when I say these jokes and nobody laughs, it's like, wow. Some of the chat goes, awkward. I'm like, all right. Yeah. Anyways, that's it for the show. Thank you guys so much. Let's give some shout-outs to our wonderful Europeans. Wardi, newly freshed, just turned 25. Okay, this is a young man in the thick of his life. Passion is all get out about StarCraft. Wardi, what do you got coming up? What do you want to tell people about?
I'm casting the OSC Championship final days over the next 2 days, which is pretty sick. We've got great players. I think in like 7 hours we start the day with like Zest versus Lacira and Rogue versus Kira and stuff. So I'm going to be casting that. And more IEM qualifiers and stuff, so just loads of casting.
Loads of casting. And Wardi sent me a message real quick. He wants to once again hammer in more subs than Base Trade TV. So just something to kind of think about, put it out there. Yeah. Our other wonderful guest and emerging as a early 2019 MVP of the Pylon Show is Todd. Todd, the instigator. Todd, I know you already talked about the stuff you're doing, but what do you got coming up immediately? What are you doing?
Just I'm streaming Warcraft 3 pretty much every single day. Going to be streaming again tomorrow. And there's going to be the Clashcasters Invitational once again. The finals are going to be on January 26th, starting 6 p.m. CET. So make sure to check out the Matcherino as well, matcherino.com/clash. There's going to be all the details there, some beautiful art that you guys can purchase. And for the stream, actually, I looked it up. It's going to be twitch.tv/clash_StarCraft2.
Very cool.
I told them it's too long. It should have been /SC2, but they made it /StarCraft2. So make sure you follow that channel.
They should do /StarCraft_2, I think.
See, this is the dad joke that still somehow makes me laugh from Dan. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, follow my stream as well, twitch.tv/ToD, and my Twitter and everything else. youtube.com/ToDGaming. And thank you for having me on, Geoff, Matt, and everybody.
You're a pleasure.
And not Dan.
Dan? Not Dan.
It was my idea to get you here, just so you know. I was like, let's get Todd.
Really?
It's true. It's true. I regret every moment of it.
All right, Dan, you have about 2 days of being healthy left. So why don't you talk about, you can stream next couple days?
If I get sick, it needs to be today because I have ASL on Sunday. ASL Season 7 coming back, and I can't miss that day because Nada is playing, one of the gods of the game ever. So I'm very excited about ASL coming back. I didn't get to stream at all this week. I've been taking care of the family that have been sick. They're getting better, though. Everyone's feeling a lot better this morning. Only had one puking incident so far.
Oh, my God.
So hopefully I'll be on my stream tomorrow. If not, I'm really sorry, and the family comes first. But yeah, ASL this weekend, and ASL's starting up, so that's great. And yeah, that's about it.
Very cool. For me, guys, I haven't talked this with everybody, but I think we have plans for the show to be pretty consistent. I don't know any dates we're going to miss coming up. I think we're good to go. So we're happy to be back. Thank you guys for all the support. Even if you don't have the interest or the money to support us through Patreon or subs, just know that being here is awesome, and we really appreciate you. Even if we make, I say we, but it's me. Even if I make mean or inappropriate jokes, I still love you, and I hope you keep coming back. So thank you very much. For me personally on the stream, I'm going to be playing some Stellaris, always StarCraft, and like I said, in the near future, Warhammer. Cobra Venom is coming over. We're upgrading the computer, the router. I'm going to have a green screen. The microphone's probably going to get upgraded. It's going to be a huge system overhaul. It's going to be really exciting and fun. 2019 is going to be great. So hopefully you guys will join us for the ride. If not, buck off. So we'll never see you again. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you. We'll see you soon. Goodbye. That's how you end the show.